Morning.
So for a poll question, we're thinking, what is the most likely result, or what is the result for the Florida teams? Is it Bucks win, Dolphins win, both lose?
Okay.
Or if we want to have a lot of fun, we could think of something related to the Dolphins-Chiefs game because of the temperature. Like, would you go for free?
The joke now is that you're going to be able to get tickets on the secondary market for the same amount of money that you can pay to watch it on Peacock. That could be the question. What's Peacock? $10?
No,
I think it's $6.99 maybe.
Okay, well there you go.
I'll look it up. Hang on, because
Okay.
we got to get this exactly right.
I think that's will you pay for Peacock to watch Dolphins?
There you go. Will you pay for?
Yeah, $5.99 a month. $5.99 a month. So would you pay $6?
Are you going to pay $6 to watch Dolphins Chiefs?
Or, not to get way off, but we could do, how are you watching the Dolphins game? Are you paying for Peacock? Are you going somewhere?
No. Are you going to pay to watch? Are you going to pay to watch it on Peacock? Because, like Mark pointed out to me, I wouldn't pay the $6, but I'd go spend 40 to 50 at a sports bar so I can get my chicken strips and a few beers. Which, in theory, I think
a lot of that, by the way, is not, and I'm not saying this just to David, but to people who are going to give that answer, is partially fear of technology.
Yeah.
They don't want to set up. What if they screw it up? I'll just go out and watch it. I don't have to bother with getting my email address and a password and all of the things that go along with signing up.
And that's valid. That's why a lot of this is.
Quote, ESPN, the Eagles firing Nick Sirianni is in play, unquote.
So it's happening.
I'm telling you, when Schefter yesterday was reporting there's a mystery team that's interested in Belichick, but they haven't fired their coach yet, I laughed my ass off. I go, I got good sources on the Eagles.
Yeah, could it be any more obvious?
I got a couple of good sources with the Eagles.
Connor McDavid's really good. They outshot Detroit like 40-something to 20-something last night. That Lion that played for Florida last year stood on his noggin.
He's okay. They don't support him at all.
They don't play a lot of defense in Detroit.
None. Zero. That's why I say this poor guy.
Giving myself a mental refresher course.
I'll give you the old checklist, too, in case you need that. By the way, I'm glad you asked me what time my flight was, because I would never have looked. I would have
been at the airport at 5 in the morning, 5 hours early.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
David, you're probably always on top of that kind of stuff because you're traveling all the time, and
kind of important.
Fly, so
yeah, to know when the flights are taking off and landing. Actually, that's necessary information. At least I feel it is.
A lot of snow days in Michigan today.
Yeah, they got pounded, didn't they?
Yep.
Oh, makes for a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
Not for us, mind you. Born on D-Day, AJC, Buddy Harrelson, June 6th of 44. Berto Clemente called him the best shortstop in baseball before he died. Best defensive shortstop. and a very nice man, known for never saying no to anybody. A charitable cause, a fan for an autograph. I dealt with him a couple times. He was very nice, but
Okay, here we go.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
top of the morning to you. I don't know if you realize, but today is a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
How the heck are you? Miller and Moulton here on the Florida Sports Network. FloridaSportsNetwork.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 13 football games left. 13. And 6 of them are this extended holiday weekend. Okay? So make plans accordingly. You've spent a lot of quality family time in the last 6-7 weeks. That can stop right now. Got it? It's time to prioritize. That's all I'm saying, Mark. That's all I'm saying.
It's a good PSA right there, David.
Thank you.
Quality work. Letting people know that it's not just a holiday weekend, but it is super wild card weekend.
Super wild card weekend. Although I don't know if it's super anymore because one of the games, Mark, is on Peacock, which takes a lot of the super away from the weekend. Well, I say we do a poll question based on it. We've avoided it all week.
I think we have to. I think that's part of our job today as a public service announcement to remind people that Saturday night, when you get ready to watch Dolphins Chiefs,
right?
It's not on NBC.
No, it is not. It's on a subsidiary.
It's on
Peacock. Yeah. You got to pay for it.
$6.
Yep. Which
$6.
Which by kickoff will be how much money you'll have to pay to get into Arrowhead Stadium because of how cold it is. Honestly, I think if you're willing to miss the first series of the game, I'll bet you 4 of you could get into that game for $20 total. They're talking like this is going to be one of the 3 coldest games ever played. They're talking about like when you throw the wind chills in, this is going to be in the Ice Bowl. This is going to be in that 81 AFC championship game in Cincinnati with the Chargers and the Bengals. They're talking like that. That's what we're going with here. And because of it, Mark, do you know what's sliding under the radar? Do you know how bad the weather's supposed to be Sunday at 1:00 in Buffalo?
It's not going to be good, but it's not going to be what it is in Kansas City.
It's not, but so supposedly in Buffalo, it's supposed to snow 3 inches all in the middle of the day, 30 to 50 mile an hour winds, and it's going to be about 15 degrees.
Right. It's going to look great on TV.
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be like the Winter Classic from 15 years ago on steroids. It'll be amazing. This just in, I don't think Mason Rudolph's going to like it much. Going to go out on a limb. I think he's going to say, I got to throw the ball in this? Are you serious? The ball might come back at me and hit me. Listen, I don't want to say the weather's bad or anything, but the over-under has gone down 6 points. It's not an exaggeration. It opened up at 41.5. It's 35.5. I don't know.
And I dare you to take the over.
I don't know if I've ever heard of an over-under moving 6 points in 4 days. My goodness. In either direction. Serious question here. Don't mock me. I mean, you can. I got a good night's sleep. I could handle it today. Actually, some mornings I'm fragile. I'm not fragile this morning. But if you were commissioner of the NFL and you got a weather report like the Saturday night in Kansas City, would you move the game?
No.
You wouldn't move the game. You wouldn't switch the game out and just say, "Oh, we can't play in this. This is good. We at least got to move it to the next day. Sun come out, it'll be 15 degrees. We can't do this." No,
No.
you would never consider moving the game, postponing the game a day, something like
Not
that. Nothing.
football, I wouldn't.
Okay.
This isn't
All right.
baseball. We're
'Cause
all
it's-
not trying to go home.
I understand.
Quote George Carlin.
But not just for the players, because I mean, we know the NFL doesn't care about them,
Not one bit.
but they try to give the impression that they care a little bit, but also they try to give the impression that they care, about us, the patrons, Mark.
Right. That's why they're putting the game on Peacock, because they care a lot about their fans.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's 110 million. I mean, they care, but not 110 million worth.
They don't care. They care about their television partners.
I think the first time I got chastised by David was because I was talking about how you can't put a game at 6 a.m. on the West Coast or something like that. And David was just like, Trent, it's a TV show. They don't care about any of that.
No, they don't. They don't. And that's why I said, I know I'm opening myself up to some grief here. I can handle it today. I slept really well last night. But I've just wondered, can you actually get a weather forecast in which you go, seriously? We're going to ask them to play in that? I don't know. It's just a thought. I mean, come on. They're talking, this is one of the 3 worst weather conditions ever played.
So they've played in worse, is what you're telling me.
I didn't say it was smart. I mean, just, come on. Do we do that old argument when you're a kid? Well, if so-and-so walked out in the traffic and get hit by a car, would you follow him? Yes, I would, Mommy. Yes, I would. I mean, I'm just wondering, can you actually get a weather forecast in which you go, oh, snap. No way. Not going to play in that. It's ridiculous. Not only that, we're going to ask fans to sit in that?
David, we don't just ask fans to sit in that. We ask fans to show up and help shovel the stadium before the games.
Well, that's
so I don't know how you can sit there and logically say, why they should postpone the games for the fans. They ask the fans to come shovel the stadiums, and David, wait for it. The fans show up and do it.
Yeah, but there's a difference between 25 degrees, but it snowed 6 inches the night before. I mean, Mark, we're talking wind chills. It's going to be below 0. You're going to have wind chills 30 below. I just asked. That's all. You're a resounding no. Trent, you're a no?
Yeah, because I think it opens a can of worms that you don't want to open.
What's next? It's too hot to play in September?
Right.
The humidity's up too
come
high
on.
in Miami?
Or the rain. It's a rainstorm. We're going to postpone kick.
Come on now.
This isn't baseball,
Football's
David.
never been that guy.
Okay. That's fine. It's fine.
You call me soft.
I just asked. I'm not advocating it. I'm making the case. So, of course, I do love Trent, who wears nothing but shorts and a T-shirt every day, and he gets his games where? In a dome. Right. But okay. All right. Telling you, when you fall in love with that girl from Appleton, Wisconsin, she takes you to Lambeau in December for a Packers game, and you go because you're in love with a girl from Appleton, Wisconsin. All right. You just call us back. Let us know how you feel.
I will not be going. I refuse.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So cute.
That's
They're so cute at
hysterical.
that age, David.
That's hysterical. Really, you won't be going. Who's going to the Lions playoff game? A girlfriend. Right. You won't be going. Right. Okay.
That was the response I expected, by the way.
Unbelievable. I won't be going. Okay. Miller and Moulton on this Football Friday.
Football Friday.
in which the theme of the day is peacock.
$5.99. Are you going to pay the $6 to watch football Saturday night?
What's more ridiculous, the thought of moving the Chiefs-Dolphins game or having to pay $6 to watch it on Peacock? The bold question I wanted for the record, it's going to cost you $6 to watch the Dolphins-Chiefs game. One of them's on Peacock, the other's in person. Which would you pay? Which would you choose? Because I'm telling you, the secondary market is crashing. I think it's $36 right now. You can get into Arrowhead for 30-something bucks right now. Just say it's costing you over $600 to get in Ford Field. You can watch Mahomes, Tua, Kelsey, Tyreek. $34, I think, you can get in. Just wait till dinner time. It'll be $20. Wait till tomorrow at dinner time. It'll be $6. You could walk up to a ticket scalper tomorrow with a $20 bill. 4 of you go, here you go. I want 4 tickets. You'd be like, here, take them.
Well, that, you talk about who it's tough for. The fans have paid. They've come up with whatever rationale in their heads that they're going to the game.
Right.
But there are people who have to work. The ticket taker, the usher, the concessionaire. Those folks, they're the ones that are screwed, David.
Listen, I don't know. And Mark, we're workers. We don't ever walk away from our jobs. If I was like the beer guy, I don't know if I could go up and down the stands Saturday night.
Yeah, how many vendors are calling in?
I'm just looking at him going, no, man, go to the concourse right here. By the way, it's covered. All right, you block you from the wind. Get out of your seat and go get your beer. I'd walk up and down the thing and go, beer here, not here, right over there. Beer here, right over there.
You might be onto something because the people who run the parking lots for $11 an hour, do you really think they're showing up?
No, just to go.
Because the odds are it's the only home game.
They should do free parking to entice people to actually come to the game.
This might be David Moulton's free parking game.
Exactly. I mean, what are you going to do? Roll down my window about half an inch. I'm not paying. It's too cold. All right, keep going.
Just crack it.
Yep,
hey.
Crack it. No. $20. No. And just keep going. What are they going to do?
I don't even think they're going to be there to take the 20.
Nah, whatever. It's going to be like Halloween. The person who leaves the thing of candy out. I think the Chiefs are just going to have, big things, $20 and an arrow pointed to the slot. Here, put it in here. Miller and Moulton. It's a football Friday. It's Super Wild Card Weekend on Peacock.
Get set for the thrill of a lifetime with Mud Wheelers Gone Wild at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. 3 full days of mud, trails, camping, and more. All for ATVs and side-by-sides only. Friday night is movie night. Ride up and relax. Compete for cash, prizes, and more. With events like our new ATV and side-by-side bounty obstacle challenge, side-by-side and barrel races, and scavenger hunt. Don't miss this family-friendly ATV and side-by-side only event at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. Visit redneckmudpark.com for discount tickets and details.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Jason and Todd with the Diamond District are excited to invite you to their annual Winter Wedding Band Expo. Saturday, January 20th and Sunday the 21st. Jason and Todd with the Diamond District welcome many top wedding band designers to their 6,000 square foot Diamond Superstore, including M-Fit, My Caroline, Crown Ring, A Jaffe, and more. You'll choose from the largest selection of wedding bands in Southwest Florida and receive 20% off designer retail prices. This is the best time of year to buy your wedding band with the lowest prices and largest selection from America's top bridal designers. Whether your wedding date has been set or you're still deciding, Saturday, January 20th and Sunday the 21st is the perfect time for you to head to the Diamond District and choose your wedding bands. Jason and Todd want to meet you personally and share with you the largest selection of wedding bands and offer you 20% off retail prices during their Winter Wedding Band Expo.
At the Diamond District.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. Little trivia question for you today. Who was the last Major League Baseball team to sign a free agent?
You mean like the Yankees signing Marcus Stroman overnight? Or the
No,
last Major League Baseball team to sign a free agent?
Every team had signed a free agent. Every team had, gone into free agency except one. This today in 81, the last team to sign a free agent was.
Oh, gotcha. Huh. Twins?
Cincinnati Reds.
Interesting.
But if you think about it, it was 81. They were so good they didn't have to throughout the most of the time.
Well, and on principle, and they won the division in 79. I thought it was the Twins because Calvin Griffith was so cheap. He lost Carew and Heisel. Wouldn't pay Rod Carew. Guy hit 388 for you. I could see not paying him. I drove Rod Carew around Hall of Fame weekend the year he went into the Hall of Fame. His driver didn't show up. They couldn't get a car. I drove him back to his hotel. I said, we're coming back here tomorrow. Do you have anything to do? They said, yeah, I got to do this. I got to do this. I go, well, we're actually coming back for that. I kid you not. We picked him up at the hotel. Has 9:30 sound. I said, I'm serious. Rod Carew was sitting in the back seat with our equipment. WBNG TV 12. He said, do you want any money from this? I said, no, at the end of the day, I want an interview.
Is Taylor Swift going to be... Sorry, go ahead, David.
By the end of the day, I got a hold of the guy running the Hall of Fame. I said, you do know he doesn't have a car, right? What? Yeah, we've been driving around all day. What? Yeah. I mean, he's a nice guy and all, but I really think he'd like a car.
Oh, David, today in 06, they retired Messier's jersey in New York.
No, for goodness sakes. Get emotional. Especially since we're coming up on 30 years. Golly.
Here we go.
Okay.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton. On a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
And what used to be Super Wild Card Weekend. It's not anymore. Because one of the 6 games is on Peacock. So that leads us to our poll question. It's $5.99 for Peacock. That's a month, right?
Yes.
You get a month of Peacock.
If you do a year, you can get it for $29.99, I believe.
What are you getting, a percentage here? I mean, what?
Well, Summer Olympics are coming.
Oh, that's right. Gymnastics, swimming, and diving. So to keep that in mind when you make your purchase, or will you? That's our poll question. It's $5.99 to purchase the Chiefs-Dolphins game. Are you going to do it? $6 Saturday night. Or is it a pride thing? You're not going to give to the man. How many of you aren't going to give to the man? How many of you, like me, will spend $40, $50 and go out? Yeah, I'm not giving it to the man. I'm giving it to the watering hole down the street. That man. I want my wings or my chicken strips. A couple of beers. I'll give it to him, but not him.
Yeah, I'm going to have wings and beer at home and pay my $5.99 a month to watch the game on Peacock.
You're one of those, you do the wings at home guy. You're one of those guys. That whole grilling thing, that cooking thing. It sounds delicious. It does. It does. But I don't know. It's just not for me.
I understand. It's
Right.
not for everybody.
Yep. In fact, if I was a neighbor of yours, though, even if we haven't spoken much over the years, I do think I would seek you out like today when you come home from the show. I know about what time you're coming home. And I'd be, hey, Mark, remember me? I'm David. I'm down around the corner. I'm 186. Yeah. Hey, good to see you again. I just have a question. I listen to your show, you guys. It's really above average. And I was just wondering. So you have Peacock and you're cooking wings tomorrow, huh? I mean, is it okay if I pay you the $6? To come on over? Is that all right? Yeah, I don't have either one of those things. So that's the poll question. You're going to pay the $6 for Peacock. You're like, the hell with that. I don't need the Chiefs and Dolphins, those stinking NFL playoffs.
By the way, yesterday's poll question is who will be the next head coach at Alabama. Before Dan Lanning had issued his video response saying he was not going to be leaving Oregon. But Lane Kiffin got 45% of the vote.
Yeah, apparently he has no chance in heck.
Right. Dan Lanning had 29% of the vote. He doesn't want the job.
Right. That was my vote. Dan could have released that video before I voted. I would have appreciated that.
Dabo getting 15% of the vote. No one in Alabama wants Dabo.
And apparently he's not being considered.
Mike Norvell's getting 11% of the vote.
And apparently he's one of the 3 finalists.
Correct.
And word is he's the fallback. It's Kalen DeBoer. It's his job if he wants it, and Mike Norvell's the fallback. Listen, did you hear what happened to Florida State yesterday?
Yeah. The NCAA doesn't seem to like them.
Well, listen, if you're a Miami Hurricane, you're like, wow, finally, they're picking on somebody else. Wait, they haven't left the state yet? Damn. I mean, seriously, this is something they do to the Canes over the last 30 years. I mean, if I'm Florida State, don't you show up and go, wait, do you have the wrong school? We're the Seminoles, not the Hurricanes. Did you guys get lost? Oh, sorry, man. We meant to go to Miami. Yeah, no problem. Just a misunderstanding. We got it. So, as Dan Wetzel said last night on Twix, if an FSU assistant introducing a transfer to a school collective is the new standard of cheating, then I think we can go ahead and vacate the entire season now.
Got that right.
I mean, man, the NCAA is cute. I mean, they really are. You know, Mark, this is their way. They're still in charge, Mark. They're the authority figure here.
We're not just event planners. We have power.
Yeah.
I'm not dumb like everybody says. I'm smart. I mean, who knew the NCAA was Fredo?
Exactly. Some people say I'm dumb, but I'm not. I'm smart. This is like 167 people breaking into a store to steal electronics, and the police show up and arrest one person
Who stole batteries.
right, who's standing there going, I just needed headphones. Put your hands behind your back. Look behind you. Just shut up. Put your hands behind your back. I mean, the offensive coordinator, Mark's getting suspended for 3 games. I mean, what is this? Michigan and Jim Harbaugh? Come on. It's good material.
Good line.
Come on.
It's a good line.
Don't be mad. You won the national title. What do you care?
Besides, the NCAA president said it was all fair and square.
Right. Yeah. There's
nothing to worry about.
Here. So, this booster, by the way, here's the funny thing, Mark. The kid didn't transfer to Florida State. The assistant coach picked the kid up, drove him to the booster, dropped him off, went and got lunch, came back, picked him up. The booster apparently said, if you play for Florida State, I'll give you $15,000 a month. That's $180,000 a year. Apparently, $180,000. I'm not interested. Come on, we got to do better than that. And so the kid went elsewhere. I mean, Mark, that's arresting the kid in the story. Didn't even steal the headphones. He was picking them up off the floor after one of the guys who stole them, but left one. He's like, oh, this can't be here. You're under arrest for stealing. What? Steal what? I didn't take anything. You've got it right there in your hands. Yeah, but I didn't put it in my pocket. I mean, honestly, are all the rest of the schools laughing, or are they going,
or just petrified?
Damn. Hope nobody tips them off to what we're doing.
Who knew the ACC had this kind of power? Try to leave the ACC, here's what happens.
I mean, Mike Norvell's like, seriously? You screw us out of the playoff, and now of all the teams in the country? And by the way, how is this against the rules again? I didn't think there were rules.
That's the question I keep asking. Against the rules? What rules?
Help me out here. Wait, you still think there's NIL? Now that's cute. It's called pay for play. Didn't you guys get the memo? NIL. EA Sports is about to release a college football video game for next year. NIL. Man. I don't know. I just hope it doesn't cost him Mike Norvell. If Mike Norvell goes, listen, they've only screwed one undefeated Power 5 school out of the playoff, and now they've only come down on one school for NIL. Same place both times. Who's on line 1? Yeah, tell them I'm interested.
So, Florida State, they have the only NIL department in the country that's roughshod and doing things illegally.
That's broken the rules, and we don't even know what the rules are. The starting 5 is next.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Florida.
Mark Miller for Molly Maid. Why Molly Maid, you ask? Trust. Moulton was a customer for 15 years. Affordability. Didn't I just say Moulton was a customer for 15 years? Worry-free services. Our professional house cleaners are fully insured and a 24-hour warranty. Call Molly Maids today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. That's mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
John, why do you think they fired Lane a week before a national championship game?
Mello, there's some discrepancy on this whole free to Comcast cable subscribers. I've heard that it's free, but not the pay part of it, the sports part that you have to pay for, that someone said. But again, I don't know. I don't have Xfinity. And if you don't think you're paying for Peacock with Xfinity, I kind of find that funny. You're paying so much. You're such a good customer. They're giving you something for free. It's because you're paying $200 a month for your cable bill.
Yeah, it's all
but I believe right. Although I believe doesn't Comcast Xfinity own NBC, so it could be a way of them, giving you access to their programming. But you're right. I'm sure they're working the costs into your bill somehow.
Well, it's only $5.99. Work it in.
Or unless you're a Comcast subscriber, at which it's $6.99. Oh, I'm sorry.
Here we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
22 minutes before the hour. Pat Kirwan joins us at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. It's when we normally talk to Pat on a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
And it's a super wild card weekend. Although one of the 6 games is on
Peacock.
So how super can it be? And that's our poll question. $5.99. Do they add taxes onto that? Is that like $6.35, $6.41, something like that?
Probably.
I don't know. So you got to pay for it. Dolphins, Chiefs. We only got 13 of these suckers left. All right. I don't count the pro games or whatever it is.
Well, it's not a football game anymore. It's the Pro Bowl games. It's
right.
They play a flag football game, apparently.
Right. Yes. Skills competition. Battle of the network stars. Something like that. And we don't count preseason football. So just so you know, all right, we got 13 football games left. And then you have to spend time with your family for like
or watch basketball.
Right. For like 7 months. So are you sure you're not going to pay the $5.99 for Peacock? I have to admit, I'm almost talking myself into this.
And if, for some reason, apparently Comcast Xfinity gives it to customers at a certain status, you're paying for it. You've paid for it. You've done enough with your cable bill to earn a free $6. I think you're paying for it.
I probably should inquire today, put it on my list of things to do. Hey, I've been a subscriber for a while. Do you know what my monthly bill is? I even bundle the internet and everything. Do I get this damn football game? Or am I going to have to fly out to Kansas City and pay $8 to get in? I think it's what it's going to be down to by kickoff. Not the temperature. I mean the amount of money. Anyway, 20 minutes before the hour, it's time for
The Starting Five. 5 stories you need to know. It's the Starting 5 on Miller and Moulton. Here's number 1.
We haven't mentioned number 1 yet in the show because, the news broke nearly 24 hours ago. But Bill Belichick and the Patriots are going their separate ways after 24 years, 6 Super Bowl wins, 9 Super Bowl appearances. Do you know in 24 years the Patriots went to 12 AFC championship games? Remember, nobody wants this guy anymore, though. No, every fan base is like, I don't want Belichick. He can't coach at all. I do have a question, though. So, how many wins behind Don Shula do you think he is? Regular season wins, he's 26 behind Shula, 328 to 302. But if you count playoff wins, nobody's got Belichick's got 11 more playoff wins than Landry, 12 more than Shula. So if you add in playoff wins, he's 14 behind Shula. Here's my question. Do they use 328 as the number of wins for Shula, or do they use 347? Honestly, I haven't been to...
I always thought it was the regular season, and yesterday the only number they brought up was the playoff number included.
Right. Everybody say he's 14 wins behind Shula. I'm like, well, when did we start including playoff stats? It's, Emmett doesn't have all those playoff yards added to his total. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, Marino's stats are regular season stats. They're not playoff stats included. So I'm curious here. When's the last time anybody listening has been to Hard Rock? The stadium, not the casino. I mean, I'm curious when they've got Don Shula up there. Do they have 347 or do they have 328? I'm curious. Which one do you count? So he's either 14 behind Shula or 26. So you tell me. Mark, I'm with you. I always thought when we do these stats, how many home runs does Hank Aaron have? I always thought it was just regular season. Minka Fitzpatrick likely to play Sunday, 1 o'clock for the Steelers against the Bills. Packers cornerback Jair Alexander rolled his ankle in practice on Wednesday. They say he's questionable for Sunday. This just in, the Cowboys have CD Lamb. Green Bay could really use Jair Alexander Sunday. I'm just saying. Browns cornerback Denzel Ward injured his knee in practice. He's questionable for Saturday. And safety Grant Delpit's already been ruled out for the Browns. So they could be down half their starters in the secondary for their playoff game. Money's coming in on the Texans, by the way. Did you see the line? It's down to 2. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, when answering questions, was asked, hey, you going to play next year? He said, yeah, I'm going to play next year. Why? Nothing. Just curious.
You're getting old.
Yeah, that's all. And, you could stay home with Taylor Swift. I mean, some guys would choose to do that. Just saying. And Dolphins, they've already shown up, Mark. Or at least, they're talking the game. Tua and Tyreek are not wearing sleeves. It's a mindset, they said.
Great.
I would look like the Michelin Man out there.
I'd have sleeves on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And I spent 5 years in Fargo. Remember, I'm tougher than I look. Of course, we're on radio right now. Hey, did you see the NFL has set who your not just who your opponents are, but where you're playing them for next year? Dolphins crossover divisions for the AFC East next year are the AFC South and NFC West. And the Dolphins will play the Raiders at home, the Browns and the Packers on the road. So home games for the Dolphins next year are the Titans, the Jags, the Niners, the Cardinals, the Raiders, along with the division. Tampa Bay, AFC, by the way, only gets 8 home games next year. NFC gets 9. The Bucs' 9 home games are the NFC East, Washington and Philly. AFC West, Denver and Vegas. Boy, Bucs got the short end of that. They don't get the Cowboys at home. They don't get the Chiefs at home. Trent, with your Lions season tickets, you'll get a game against Tampa Bay. They have to go to Detroit, do the Bucs. They host the Niners and the Ravens, along with their 3 division opponents. And the Jags get the AFC East and the NFC North. You'll also, Trent, get to see the Jags because they have to go to Detroit. Why do I have a feeling, by the way, that the Jags-Bears game is going to end up in London? Because didn't we announce yesterday the 4 teams that were going to – it was Jacksonville, Minnesota, Chicago, right?
Right.
And Carolina.
That's correct.
And
Aren't those the home teams, though?
Those are the home teams.
Yes, but that's why I think the Jags-Bears game will be in London, and then the Jags will stay over and play their home London game. That's what they did for Jacksonville this year. They sent them over for 2 games. One was home, one was away. So I think there's a possibility Jags-Bears ends up in London. Just saying. Or Europe. College football. Dan Lanning will not replace Nick Saban in Alabama. Reportedly, it's down to Kalen DeBoer of Washington, Mike Norvell of Florida State, and Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator at Alabama. Florida State hit with level 2 NIL sanctions. This apparently goes back to the spring of 2022, and the NCAA said, yeah, we didn't put our rules in until like the fall of 2022. So you guys are violators. Everybody in the sport's like, are you serious? So apparently assistant coach drove a recruit to meet with a booster who offered the kid money. The booster and the kid never played for Florida State. He transferred elsewhere. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers is returning for his senior season. I'm sure Arch Manning is thrilled with that. And Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. enters the NFL draft. College hoops. FAU survives.
Ooh, wait.
2 free throws with no time on the clock to beat Tulane 85-84. 10th ranked Illini edged Michigan State 71-68. Michigan up 12 at the half, lost at Maryland 64-57. By the way, Gonzaga lost at Santa Clara by 1. The Zags are ranked 24th in the country. They've been ranked for 143 consecutive weeks. They could fall out of the top 25 for the first time in a very long time. FIU a winner last night over New Mexico State. Women's side, South Carolina remains unbeaten. They're 15-0. Miami lost at Va Tech by 24. Florida State a winner at home against UNC by 8. Gators lost at Tennessee. Jacksonville and FIU winners. North Florida a loser. NBA. So they're going to move the draft to 2 nights. First round on one night, second round on another.
Boy, people are really going to tune in for that second round.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. But you know how they're going to pump it. All right. Tune in for the next Nikola Jokic. Milwaukee beat Boston 135-102. They led by 37 at the half. That's because they went on a 24-0 run in the first half. The game was so bad, TNT pulled away from it in the fourth quarter. They did. Dallas held off the Knicks 128-124 after leading by 19 at the half. Oklahoma City beat Portland by 62. They led by 36 at the half. The final was 139-77. Oklahoma City scored 75 in the first half by themselves. And Bradley Beal with 37. Wow, I didn't realize he was still playing. That's how invisible he's been this year. Led Phoenix over the Lakers 127-109. And they did play that game in Paris after all, Mark. Cleveland beat Brooklyn 111-102. Donovan Mitchell had like 45. So apparently, if you played in the NHL last night, you had to go to overtime. It just seemed that way. But 6 of the 13 games went overtime. Tampa Bay, Darren Radish in OT beat the Devils 4-3. The Panthers, Sam Reinhart, with 2 seconds left in overtime, beat the Kings 3-2.
They're never losing again, David.
What's that, 9 in a row? Edmonton 3-2 over Detroit in overtime. Vancouver 4-3 over Pittsburgh in overtime. Crosby with 2 more goals. He's got 24. That's pretty good for being like 63 years old. And Vegas beat Boston in overtime 2-1. In one of the games that didn't go overtime, St. Louis beat the Rangers 5-2. Rangers are 8-9 in their last 17. I know they've got like the most points or tied for the most points in the East, but they ain't playing all that well. And finally, Mark, golf, Sony Open in Hawaii. Australian Cam Davis birdied 5 of the last 6 holes. Mark, I don't know if you're aware of that. That's how you shoot 62. You know, I know when I go out, okay, that's what I do. I birdie 5 of my last 6 to shoot 62.
I always shoot 62. Somewhere around 12, 13, I get there, and then we move on with the rest of our round.
Right. That's when I stop also. You know, right after the turn, I'm at about 56, 57. I'll play one more. He has a 2-shot lead after the first round of the Sony Open. And at 8 minutes before the hour, that was
the Starting 5 every weekday morning at this time on Miller and Moulton.
Believe it or not, there was actually some baseball signings yesterday. Overnight, apparently, the Yankees and Marcus Stroman agreed on a 2-year deal for $37 million with an option for a 3rd year. And the Rays signed 8 of their 10 arbitration-eligible players, and they signed some Japanese pitcher as well. Randy Arozarena is going to make $8 million this year, which, of course, makes him like the 3rd highest-paid Ray. So, you know, he's got to go soon.
Could be a trade deadline casualty.
Exactly. I mean, $8 million? We can't afford this. Are you serious? So there you go. Miller and Moulton. Listen, we got picks we have to make. And I'm just saying, even you, Mr. 5 picks a week. Well, we got 6 games. Okay. How about you suck it up and you do all 6? Huh? No?
Well, you're asking for a lot, David.
I'm laying down the gauntlet.
I don't think there's a choice. I think we'll pick there's how many games left?
13.
We'll pick them all.
I thought you were going to say, well, I only pick the games that are not on Peacock. So that's why I'm picking 5. It's our poll question. You going to pay the $5.99 or not? Miller and Moulton.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Mark Miller for Molly Maid. Why Molly Maid, you ask? Trust. Moulton was a customer for 15 years. Affordability. Didn't I just say Moulton was a customer for 15 years? Worry-free services. Our professional house cleaners are fully insured and a 24-hour warranty. Call Molly Maids today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. That's mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
The waterways of Naples are a beauty to behold, and the Bayfront Inn has multiple ways for guests to enjoy the water and have some fun. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill, the Bayfront Inn. Something for everyone. On 5th Avenue in Naples.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. David, these Steeler tickets this coming year could be worth some money. Division.
Right.
You got Lamar, Burrow, and Deshaun. Dak.
Oh, Cowboys.
Mahomes.
Oh, jeez.
Herbert.
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Oh, little Jets action.
And the Giants.
Oh, sorry about that.
But still, it's the Giants and Jets are. Yeah, exactly. That's someone will buy those tickets.
Oh,
Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers, Giants, and Jets.
Probably the Chargers game is be the cheapest one.
Correct.
Even with Pete Carroll as coach.
That's the one I want to go to. Chance to see my Chargers in person. I'm back, baby. He's reading something. He didn't even acknowledge what I said.
You're back, baby. That's what I know. You're back.
I said the game I'll go to is probably the Chargers game.
Right, because you're
Chance
back.
to see my Chargers.
Totally. Remember, you're buying merch and everything. We've got it on tape.
Oh, hey, JP's went down in Gulf Coast Town Center. It's not there anymore. Yeah, I don't know if he has any of them open anymore. I have no idea.
Well, the original one was in North Fort Myers. By the way, Marley, that's a hell of a Twitch handle there. Fat Neck Marley. I like it.
As opposed to his counterpart, Skinny Neck Marley.
Right, I like it. So that's considered the Cape? I thought it was in that.
He said Cape Coral still open. He had a store in Cape Coral also.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because he always had the one in the strip mall in North Fort Myers there on 41.
I'm allergic to the Cape, so I don't go out there.
Except for a real estate listing. Then he would.
Oh, then I'll stop everything. Then I'll get the proper antibiotics to cross those bridges.
That's not true. There was that pizza place that you found.
Nice Guys Pizzas is really good.
Yeah. You liked it. Yeah.
No, I can get the antibodies if I have to.
What do you have? Herpes simplex 10?
Cape Coral does.
Hour 2. Here we go.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Hour 2 of Miller and Moulton, at least that's what I'm told, here along the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Pat Kirwan will join us. We'll go through the 6 NFL playoff games. We'll even spend some time on the game that's on Peacock. And if your playoff game is on Peacock, Is it really happening? Just wondering. That's our poll question, by the way. You going to pay the $5.99
or $2.99? Someone texted they're running a promo. Are you paying for Peacock to watch the game? That's and for those of you that get it free because of some deal you have with Xfinity, you're paying for it.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. We should have put a third option of I already have it, because I think
I
there's
voted. I have it already, and I voted yes.
Okay,
if you have it, vote yes because you're paying for it,
right?
Some way, shape, or form.
So, we're just curious to see how many of you are like, no way, man. I ain't paying $6 for the Dolphins and the Chiefs. Hell with that. And trust me, I can back you up on it. I understand.
During the break, right as we were coming on and trying to announce that it was hour 2, much to our surprise there, David, I'm excited for you, Trent. I truly am. And as excited as I am for you, I feel that badly for Dolphin, who should be in the same mood that Trent is today. They should be getting fired up for a home game tomorrow or Sunday or whatever the case may be, and they're not. Has it hit you yet? Are you euphoric over Sunday night?
Yes, because I do, shameless plug. I do a little Detroit sports podcast with my buddies, and we've been doing it since we met in college. So it's in the 6 years we've been doing that. This is the first time we're previewing a playoff game, and we did our show last night. And it did hit me because it's just the first downtown Detroit tailgate that this football team's ever had, ever. They used to play in Pontiac. Like this is uncharted waters, and it's going to be great. I can't wait to
right
tell
until
you guys
kickoff.
Do you know the number one song in America the last time the Lions won a playoff game?
I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
No.
Dang.
Good guess.
It's good, though.
That's a really good guess.
It's good.
What is it, David?
Technically, it was January of 92. Early January, they defeated the Cowboys. And it was Michael Jackson's Black or White was the number one song in America. Do you know how long it's been since the Steelers have won a playoff game?
10 years.
Well, not quite, but Obama was president the last time the Steelers won a playoff game. It was the final week of his presidency. It was mid-January of 2017, so it was the 2016 season. And it's been 7 years since the Steelers have won a playoff game. Which does, for those of us that think that the Steelers fans' angst towards Mike Tomlin is absurd, it does give you a little window. The window's cracked there. You're like, oh, okay, I can understand why they'd want to air out this room a little bit. Now, Ray Stremmen Fort Gucci Mane.
What?
Ray Shremmerd. It's eardrummers spelled backwards.
Okay. Black Beatles was the number one song in America.
Black Beatles in the city. That's how it goes. It's something like that.
I'm glad you say it. I still don't. You could play it and I wouldn't know
I
what
know.
It
no,
so
you
just,
know. You would
no,
know.
I don't think I would.
Okay. All right.
I think you'd recognize it. If we weren't going to commit an FCC violation, I'd play it for you.
The Dolphins have not won a playoff game since Clinton was president. Clinton. December of 2000. I was there. That's how long ago it was, Mark. Destiny's Child, Independent Woman. Number one song in America
Another song that if you played it right now, I would have no idea what
I think you would. I'm going to go out on a limb.
What's
Put
the
it
name
this
of
way. It's Independent Woman from Destiny's Child. I actually think if I'm not saying you obviously didn't have it. You weren't jamming to it. You weren't working out to it. But I think you would recognize it. Remember, this is December of 2000. People still listen to music on the radio. That's how long ago it was.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So
there it is.
That's all. Some of the teams who, it's been a while since they've won a playoff game. It's been 32 years for the Lions. It's been 23 years for the Dolphins. But hell, it's been 7 for the Steelers. So there.
It don't matter if you're black or white. I'm going to be jamming that on my way to the trip.
That one I know.
Yes.
One of the 3 I'm aware of.
I think you would know the Destiny's Child one. You'd go, oh, yeah, I heard that.
Well, we're going to find out during the break because I've already got it queued up.
Okay.
And then what's the other song? Your drummer over there?
Black Beatles by Ray Shremmerd and Gucci Mane.
Yep.
I was a junior in high school.
I'm so
Do you remember the mannequin challenge? You remember seeing those videos or no? David, do you remember that at all?
The mannequin challenge.
Come on, Twitch chat room can back me up on this. It was a big deal. It was like, it would be a restaurant or a public setting and everyone would just be holding still.
Right. Okay.
The song that played for that was Black Beatles. Everyone put that song.
Well, now that you pair it up with the mannequin challenge, now I've got it.
Boy.
You could see you could see, Trent, where maybe you would lose me because the last thing I'm going to do at a restaurant is stand still.
In fact, David was looking for the mannequin challenge because he would be like Andy Reid. As everybody paused, he'd be running through grabbing fries.
Exactly. It'd be phenomenal if everybody stood still. I'd go to the front of the line. I could crush the buffet. It'd be incredible. Where are they having the mannequin challenge? That's where we're going to eat. What time you guys doing it? 6:30? Done.
Well, David, it was a big deal at sporting events, too. I thought maybe you would know what I'm talking about.
It was a big deal at sporting events.
They would play it, and they do it's like a kiss cam. They would go around, and you'd have to, do the mannequin challenge.
No,
I'm telling you, this was a thing.
Trent, in this state, the mannequin challenge was a Tuesday night at a Marlins game. Okay.
Oh my God.
And we had people disguised as fans in the seats. That's what the mannequin challenge was like in this state. But okay. All right. It's another thing, Mark, to look up during the break.
The mannequin challenge is a viral internet video trend which became popular in November of 2016.
Wow. Okay.
My whole school, my high school, we did an all-school lip dub. That was the mannequin challenge. The entire student body did it.
Mark,
of course, the people that thought they were funny would move around during it. But
Mark, this followed a couple years after. Remember when kids were doing all that planking? We went from planking to the mannequin challenge. The 20 teens, baby, was really happening.
They were crazy. I'm telling you.
Nuts.
The things that those high school kids.
Nuts. Yep. Planking, the mannequin challenge. I mean, Trent, in the 70s, we did cocaine and LSD. I mean, I got to admit. I mean, you guys are really taking it down a couple notches.
Yeah, you guys had, before your time was Woodstock and all that stuff.
Right. In the mid-'80s, we skipped school with the Tony Ziner's house and drank his parents out of their liquor for it. That was a challenge.
Come to think, Trent, your generation's getting a really bad rap.
You think?
You guys are not. You guys pause. You look like mannequins. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Stop the presses.
You crazy kids.
6:30. We're doing the mannequin challenge, and then after we get done eating, we're gonna plank. Anyway, just some playoff droughts, just to make you aware of. Lions 32 years, Dolphins 23 years, and 7 for the Steelers. And obviously, 2 of those 3 teams expected the droughts to continue. I mean, technically, the Dolphins have not won a playoff game in the 21st century because centuries are 1 to 100. So December of 2000 is still in the 20th century. It's not in the decade of the 90s, but it's in the 20th century.
By the way, that's just a mess right there. What you just did was it's a mess.
Put everyone's brain in a blender.
Did I outplank you there? Is that what I did? Okay. Actually, what I think I did there to Mark was bring back the 70s. I think is some combination, but
Well, so that's the Dolphins. The Lions haven't won in the 21st century. Are there any other teams? Am I missing anybody?
No, I think.
No, of teams that were playing in that century that.
Right.
No, I mean, everybody else.
Right.
Those are the 2 longest playoff droughts.
Okay.
So the Lions and the Dolphins, both. Because when the Browns went into Pittsburgh a few years ago, that ended their playoff drought, went back to the mid-90s. So that's something to remember. You know, Baker Mayfield's played in a couple of playoff games, and he played well in them, both on the road, for what it's worth. It'll be his first home playoff game with Tampa on Monday. Man, that game's a bunch of walking wounded. All the guys that haven't practiced this week or barely practiced for the Bucks and the Eagles. Whew.
Including the quarterback for the Eagles, their best receiver. Yeah, they're banged up as well.
My understanding is Hurts practiced yesterday, but he had a glove on his throwing hand, and that finger, he said, I probably shouldn't have gone back in the game. That wasn't smart. I mean, he's going to play, but clearly that finger is going to bother him to some degree. I don't think Baker practiced yesterday. I think because the game's on Monday, they held him out another day, which shows you how injured he is. He's not hurt. He's injured.
To go with what you've kind of been talking about, David, with the Hurts thing and the Sirianni thing, do you put that on the coach, putting him back in there in a game that doesn't matter and his fingers busted up? Because I do.
In combination with the trainer, yes.
Yeah. But in theory, they're all talking on the sideline. Like, that's
right,
a big
but the
deal,
player,
right?
How much is the player not letting? That's the other thing that we never factor in. What's the player telling him? The finger could look bad, but if he's saying it's fine, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but quite frankly, Mark, every player always wants to go back in every game. So it was 24-0. He shouldn't have gone back in. I mean, this is Trevor Lawrence getting hurt when he got hurt for Jacksonville. It's just, come on now. What are we doing here? Miller and Moulton. Pat Kirwan in 45 minutes. Where else but the Florida Sports Network?
Get set for the thrill of a lifetime with Mud Wheelers Gone Wild at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. 3 full days of mud, trails, camping, and more. All for ATVs and side-by-sides only. Friday night is movie night. Ride up and relax. Compete for cash, prizes, and more. With events like a new ATV and side-by-side bounty obstacle challenge, side-by-side and barrel races, and scavenger hunt. Don't miss this family-friendly ATV and side-by-side only event at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. Visit redneckmudpark.com for discount tickets and details.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Okay, so 2016. I found the video. I'm not going to, I know you guys
Oh,
don't.
I got to get my Destiny's Child song in. Hold on.
What's it called again? Independent Woman, I think. Is that the one?
Yeah, independent Women. No, let it go. Take it down the hallway, baby. Rock it.
Let's go request it next door.
He's gonna kill me over this one.
That one. The other one. Where's my mannequin challenge? Now?
Oh, it's
my mannequin challenge.
Let me hear.
My mannequin challenge.
Come on. Here's the part you'll know. Hang on. Do you remember this at all?
Not doing anything for me.
Do.
I've not listened to much of the.
I just thought with your son, maybe you'd know it.
No,
but
he doesn't do much hip hop.
I don't either, but
he
it's
did
just
Kendrick Lamar, and then he does.
Kendrick's great.
He's gone country.
Okay.
Like the Sturgill Simpson and the Colder Wall and the
kind
of the old country stuff. So that's what I get from him. That or old rock and roll. He listens to my music.
Yeah. Same. That cool dads that are your guys' age raise your kids on that. So by default, we listen
with
to
my daughter right now. It's not easy.
That's funny. But yeah, my entire high school we all did like a big mannequin challenge thing. And because we had to go through the whole high school and it took like 9 minutes, they started with Black Beatles and then they did the Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now song from the Mannequin movie by Starship or Jefferson Starship or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's a bad song too.
It's a terrible
that one I know.
song.
I was playing nothing but Led Zeppelin for my daughter, and she didn't like it, and I just kept playing it for her and told her she had no choice. I told her that I failed her. At that moment, I failed you as a father.
Is that your number one, Led Zeppelin?
It's the best band that there ever was.
I agree. Just like
I don't know if they're my favorite, but you can put Led Zeppelin on. There's not a bad song.
True. David, do you have a favorite band / artist ever?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's not the greatest artist ever. But
well, that's fine. Who is it?
It's Springsteen.
Oh, that's great.
And
I love Springsteen, but like you would admit, Springsteen has bad songs. There are some.
Well, yeah, and not only that, he's not a good singer. He's a great musician. The band is amazing. Okay, but Bruce can't sing that well.
Well, look, mine is Motley Crue, so I'm in no position to. I love Motley Crue. I'm very aware that musically,
hair metal that you go hair metal.
I love hair metal. Love it.
That's
can't get enough of it. So yeah, I hear you. You don't have to be a great. Bob Dylan's not a good singer.
Bob Dylan's an awful singer.
Awful.
One of the greatest.
Got some text on the mannequin challenge.
Okay.
Come on. So did someone come into my defense, or are they all just
No. There are two people that did it at Universal. But basically the same two people. I mean, not two different people, two different area codes. Both were at the same place doing the same at Universal in November of 2016.
It came and went, but it was a big deal for a minute because this was right when this is a little bit before TikTok, but this was when everyone was doing all these, viral challenges.
It's just like the ice bucket challenge.
Yes, same era. The ice bucket challenge and the mannequin challenge and
era. I didn't realize that was an era. Okay,
it was.
I just thought it was a thing. But all right.
Oh, here we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton on a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
It's Super Wild Card Weekend, which isn't as super anymore because one of the games is on
Peacock. You threw a little Broadway into Super Wild
did,
Card.
on purpose.
I love Super Wild Card Weekend.
So how super can it be? But speaking of Peacock, you going to pay the money? That's our poll question. $5.99. Some of you, apparently, it's half price. Whatever it is, I don't care if it's a quarter. You going to pay it? Yes or no? That's basically the question. Come on, play along at home.
Right now, it's about 50-50 split.
Wow. Can't believe 50% of you aren't going to pay it.
You're not.
Right now, I'm a no. That's true. I'm going to try to call one of my two friends and, go out and spend $50 instead of $6. Yeah. So anyway, we've covered a lot of ground. We're actually going to get to the NFL playoffs here coming up soon, but we've covered a lot of ground so far in the show. We're not spending a lot of time on Belichick because the news broke over 24 hours ago, so we spent most of yesterday's show on it. So if you want to talk Belichick, you can. 21,000. Send us your thoughts, the whole deal.
You can also go listen to the podcast from yesterday because it was a great show.
Thank you.
Wow.
I thought we did a good job too. But but today we're off the rails
so far. We're going to rein it in here beginning next segment, I promise. And then Pat Kirwan at the top of the hour. No, this is going to be a solid sports show before it's done. But right now it's like, Lebitard-esque.
So a couple of texts during the break two different texts that me and my family did the mannequin challenge with Beetlejuice at Universal in Florida. Next text, did the mannequin challenge November 26th at Universal with other pass holes. Even Beetlejuice was involved. Cool.
Okay.
Laley High School did one in 2017 too.
It was super. Okay. All right. Trent says it was an era, right? An era. We thought it was a thing. He says it was an era.
I thought it was an error.
No, let me make myself clear.
No. You made yourself perfectly clear, Trent. You said, and I quote, it was an era.
The whole challenge thing was an error, not specifically the mannequin challenge. There was more than just the mannequin challenge.
All right. In about 5 minutes, Trent with the play of the day, which, by the way, is its own era. But did you hear this ESPN fake Emmy story? You didn't hear about this? Oh, my goodness. So apparently, ESPN, over the years, dating back to the late 90s, okay? No, the executive who worked there, who's now no longer there, worked with him from 97. But since at least 2010, ESPN inserted fake names into Emmy entries, then took the awards won by some of those imaginary individuals and had them re-engraved and gave them to on-air personalities. Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Chris Fowler, Desmond Howard, Samantha Ponder were among those who were given what they call ill-gotten Emmys. And when asked, what in the world were you thinking? They said, well, we're dealing with some, big ego people here. They need to be, pampered. And so we
gave them fake awards that they didn't win?
But they thought they were told they were real. Shelley Smith apparently was given 2.
So in short, this is like youth sports. I mean, we're just giving everyone a trophy.
But it's an Emmy.
No, see, what they would do is say there's a category like we won an Emmy for Monday Night Football last year as best live, whatever. And they submit everybody who's a part of the Monday Night Football crew. Well, what apparently ESPN did over the years is they would make up fake names, submit them, and if they actually won, then they'd have 10 or 12 extra Emmys laying around. And then they'd re-engrave them and hand them out to their on-air talent who apparently needed a blankie or an Emmy when they went home. Kirk Henry was the name that they use to then give to Kirk Herbstreit. Lee Clark for Lee Corso. Dirk Howard for Desmond Howard. Tim Richard for Tom Rinaldi. Stephen Ponder for Samantha Ponder. Gene Wilson for Gene Wojciechowski. Chris Fulton for Chris Fowler. Shelley Saunders for Shelley Smith.
What in the absolute hell?
Goodness.
This is bizarre.
So the millions of dollars is not enough. I mean, you need a blankie? I mean, an Emmy too?
That's absolutely nuts.
I know. I saw the story yesterday and I'm like, oh, come on. This is an SNL skit, right? I did laugh. I went and checked my Emmy. I'm like, was this intended for somebody else? Or is this mine?
That's what I was wondering.
I know.
Does it say David Miller on the bottom?
No. And I'm looking for soft engraving underneath and what have you. No, it looks legit. It's on the wall behind me. It's, I know we won in that category, and I am a part of the broadcast. I mean, I don't know if I deserve the hardware. I think that's, a little much. I'm very appreciative. I mean, we won one of these at CBS. I got a plaque. I mean, my wife said, hey, that's really nice. You get like a $50 gift certificate with it. I go, no.
Not even a honey baked ham.
No.
Or a half of one.
Right. You could take this to Starbucks. You got to pay full price. No, you can't do anything with this. Yeah. How about that? Man, and Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler are going to handle the SEC fans when they need a blankie, an Emmy to go through life? I don't know, guys. I think you got to toughen up for what's coming.
I don't even know what to say to this.
I know. It's
because,
like, come on.
One, I would think in the biz, you're aware if you're nominated for an Emmy and then if you win one. So to be given one that you didn't win is bizarro to me in the first place.
Well, they tell them, they put on the thing, the category and what have you. Oh, okay. I know. I'm totally with you. I mean, for Fowler, it'd be play-by-play or studio host. I mean, if you win.
Right. You're going up against.
Yeah. I don't get it. I think it's part of like how I got my Emmy. You're part of like a television show. College Game Day wins for something, or I don't know.
Okay.
And so they go, here you go.
Well, here we go with the play of the day. Trent, with the Molly Maid play of the day, what do you have for us?
David alluded to it in the starting five. There was a lot of good hockey last night, but how can we not go to Sunrise, Florida, where it's the hottest team in hockey hosting the LA Kings? Sam Reinhart gave as close to a walk-off as possible in overtime.
Reinhart over the blue line gives to Barkov. 5 seconds left in overtime. Here's Reinhart on the doorstep of the backhand. He scores! Let's go home, baby! Sam Reinhart extends the winning streak to 9.
Let's go home, baby. 9th straight for the Panthers. They're now 1 point behind the Boston Bruins for the lead in the Atlantic Division. Panthers are red hot. And there's your play of the day.
That was a great call right there.
It was awesome. Let's go home, baby.
But got the time in. I mean, that was really solid.
It deserves an Emmy, maybe.
Well,
or at least someone else's.
We can get him one. I mean, there's like 37 extra laying around in Bristol.
And that's our Molly Maid play of the day. Give your spouse the gift of a clean house.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an Emmy.
Well, you could give him that too. Or Molly Maid could just come dust off your Emmy.
I actually thought, this was, a neat thing. Now, apparently, Tim Richard won one. Tom Rinaldi.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
And I don't know if I have to clarify this, but just so everybody knows, the talent was not involved in this scam. This was all done by two ESPN executives, neither of whom still work for the company. One was late in the summer, out of nowhere, fired. And he was fairly prominent. His name was Lee Fitting. He just signed the other day to work for the WWE. So three others, Mark: Aaron Andrews, Wendy Nix, and Jen Brown-Smith for Jen Brown. Now, apparently College Game Day won an Emmy in 2010. All three of these were part of their college football coverage at the time. And so ESPN added them to the College Game Day list. The Emmys came, they modified the Emmys and just mailed those three Emmys. Wendy Nix quoted as saying, "Yeah, I got an Emmy. I thought I won it for being part of our college football coverage. It just arrived in the mail one day. I haven't been contacted about returning it. I left ESPN, a year ago or 6 months ago." Brown, who left ESPN 10 years ago, said, "Yeah, I got one. I didn't know it was ill-gotten. This is all news to me. It's unfortunate. You got people who believe they rightfully had one." And she basically said, I'll return it. I mean, if I didn't earn it, I want to give it back. So this was totally manufactured by the two ESPN executives to try to keep their talent happy. They thought they had to go to this length to keep them happy. And by the way, all the on-air personalities were listed as associate producers.
Right.
One executive interviewed said the company was obsessed with Emmys, using a number of wins each year to prove their dominance. Also, apparently there's a rule preventing on-air personalities from getting statues for a win by the show. And they thought that was stupid and they wanted to do something about it. Apparently a couple years ago, the association involved with Emmys kind of got a tip that people may have played fast and loose with who's a part of shows. And so apparently for the last couple of years, they've had to verify everybody involved with the show. Apparently, fake names appeared as recently on College Game Day Emmy submission as 2020. But they didn't win that year.
Seminoles, he's the fallback. By all accounts, he's the fallback to the Washington coach right now.
So does Dion hate Florida State? Is there bad blood there?
Yeah, there's something going on there with Dion. He's not happy about. I think he's unhappy about when they hired Mike Norvell, he didn't get an interview.
Because, the only reason I ask is because, if Norvell goes to Bama, do you think Florida State could get Dion? Or do you think it's just bitter, sour grapes?
I don't think he would leave his kids. I think it would be a time. I mean, whether there's a grudge there or not, but I don't think he would leave his two sons. I think after the 2024 season, I think anything's possible with Dion.
Well, wouldn't he bring his sons with him or no?
I don't think he can.
Why is that? They've already okay.
They've already transferred once.
Here we go.
And they don't have a degree.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
"22 minutes before the hour. Pat Kirwan joins us at the top of the hour. This is, after all, a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
And it is Super Wild Card Weekend, although one of the 6 games is on Peacock, so we're questioning just how super it really is. And speaking of Peacock, that's our poll question. You going to pay the $5.99, or for some of you it's $2.99, or for some of you, I already get it. Whatever. I mean, if you already get it, then you're paying for it. So are you paying to watch the game or not?
It's 50-50 right now.
Yeah. So there you go. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton. I probably should retweet it.
A lot more cord cutters out there, David. Every time we do one of these, more people going to the streaming services, leaving some of us in the dust that refuse to stream.
Well, to me, the significance of this, though, I mean, obviously Peacock's doing it to generate business. They paid $110 million, did NBC, to exclusively put a game on Peacock. And then we'll see how many of you will pay the $6. I mean, what do they need? They need about, 17 million people in theory. If they bought it, they'd break even. Well, they don't have to break even because they're going to sell advertising, and so they can make it up. But I mean, they would love for you to, if 5 million people bought Peacock, that's 30 million. I think they'd take that. They'd want more, but I think they'd take 5 million people pay for the game. But the NFL's paying attention to this because they want to see how many of you will pay for a game. Because, come on now, we talked about it for a long time. What do we think is possible before Miller and Moulton leave this earth? What do we think is possible?
A Super Bowl on a streaming service.
$99 for a Super Bowl. Would you pay it? And Miller and Moulton have always said, yeah, if they do it, we're in. Got to watch it. Don't know what to tell you. So that's where we think, that's what we're looking at here. Yeah, this is a one-off, but it's also why they gave him a decent game. I mean, don't be offended, Browns and Texans fans, but they gave him Chiefs Dolphins for a reason. They didn't give him Browns Texans, which is the game on NBC at 4:30. And they gave him Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, and the Chiefs. And oh yeah, the Dolphins are entertaining.
And I do love it. David, the listeners like you, no, I'm not paying for it. I'm going to go out to a local establishment and watch it and spend $50, $60, $80, $100 to watch the game. But damn it, I won't pay $5.99 for Peacock.
It's like a protest.
It is.
It's exactly what it is.
So someone on Twix, I'm not doing it for this reason. I get blocked because the Dolphins are my local team during the season. I'm part of that market area. So now I'm not part of that market area, and I shouldn't receive the game on local TV. Sorry, NFL, you can't have it both ways.
You showed them.
Yeah, well, come on now. I took a whole year off from the NHL.
You showed them.
I did.
You almost shut down because of it.
Just as a man of principle, Mark. I mean, come on now. We're sports fans. We're idiots. I mean, we know it. Fan is short for fanatic. I mean, the wires don't touch properly. That's why we're fans.
Here's what people don't understand, too. Like, yes, sports is huge. It's a huge deal. There's a big contingent of this country that already has Peacock because they want to watch The Office or Parks and Rec or whatever the hell else they have on there. So for all you people, all you fans who are like, I'm not getting Peacock. I mean, there's plenty of Joe Schmoes who already have it for different reasons that have nothing to do with sports.
Here's the funny thing, though. There's some of us, and I may be one of them. I mean, I'm a Comcast Xfinity guy. From everything I've heard, I think I have it, but I've never watched anything on Peacock. So as Mark says, I've been paying for it, I think, for quite a while now. And what I'm going to find out later today is I'm going to say, do I have Peacock or not? And I'm going to go on the TV, and this could be quite a shock to me at about 2, 3 o'clock today. I go, I'll be damned. So anyway, one thing I want to clarify, the whole ESPN fake Emmy story. The on-air talents had nothing to do with this. None of them. This was ESPN twofold. First off, they were trying to placate their talent. But secondly, there is a rule that when like College Game Day wins an Emmy for best studio show or whatever, Reese Davis and Desmond and Kirk, they don't get Emmys. The show wins Emmys. And so apparently ESPN didn't think that was right.
Is that because there's a separate category for studio hosts for
hosts and analysts? Right, they have their own category. The show has its category. So the people behind the scenes are the ones that get the Emmys for the studio shows and what have you. And so ESPN thought that wasn't fair. And so every person who was in front of a camera that was involved in the show, they would submit fake names, take the Emmys, rework them, and give them to them. So it was placating egos, and it was also ESPN thought it was ridiculous that we'd win an Emmy for College Game Day and Lee Corso wouldn't get one. So there you go.
All right. You giving your Emmy back. You get a fake Emmy.
Yeah.
They come calling for it. You giving it back?
Absolutely. Yeah. If I didn't earn it. I mean, listen, I'm very appreciative. I was shocked. I had no idea that an Emmy was coming in the mail. I knew I was part of a broadcast that won the Emmy for Best Live Sporting Event. And I remember thinking when we were walked out of the stadium, I think we won the Emmy the night Damar Hamlin died on the field and was brought back to life. It was on Monday Night Football. We were very good that night. Lisa Salters was amazing. She won an Emmy for best. She had 20 years. She had never won an Emmy before. She won. Joe Buck got nominated for an Emmy. Joe was amazing that night. I mean, I thought we were going to win hardware that night. I'm like, wow, this is pretty damn good live television. And sure enough, we did. I mean, do I think I'm worthy of the statue? No, I do not. But I mean, technically we won. I'm part of we. So you're handing these things out.
Do you bow down to it and do the "we're not worthy" Wayne's World thing every once in a while just to keep yourself in check?
No, I haven't dusted it yet, though. I haven't touched it. Okay. Got to get Molly Maid over here. They got to do it. I won't touch it. Afraid I'll break it.
I don't blame you.
We got 6 playoff games. We doing straight up or numbers? What are we doing?
Numbers.
Okay.
It's a gambling world, David.
Fine. So one of them I'm going to get a little hinky with, just so you know. Okay, there's one that I'm going to go a little off the beaten path with. It's still a legit bet. It's just a little different. Okay, Cleveland at Houston. Brown's secondary's banged up. Texans actually getting two of their pass rushers who they didn't have for the Colts game back. So from an injury factor, although Amari Cooper's going to play, his heel has, wait for it, fully healed. See what I did there? Cleveland -2 at Houston. I'm going with the Browns. I think they're going to take Myles Garrett, Mark, and move him to the other side away from Laramie Tunsil. And I think that Cleveland's defensive front's going to be the difference in this game, as long as Joe Flacco doesn't give it away. He's going to give away a game here at some point. This magic carpet ride's going to end. I just say it doesn't happen. Do you know the last time Joe Flacco, by the way, played in a playoff game? 2015. Because the Ravens there had a couple of nondescript years, and then Lamar took over for Flacco midseason in like 2017 or 18, I think it was. So Flacco has not started a playoff game since 2015. It's apparently the second longest gap in between playoff starts in NFL history. Doug Flutie had the longest, 11 years.
I'm with you. I just think the Cleveland defense, CJ Stroud's been great, but he's running into a great defense here. And I'm going to take the quarterback who's won playoff games versus the one who's never played in a playoff game.
So we both like the Browns to win on the road and cover the 2. Okay. The money's coming in on Kansas City. It's going up about 0.5 point every day. It's now up to Kansas City -5. It opened at 3.5. We all know what the weather's going to be tomorrow. At best, single digits. Could actually be below 0 straight temp. Wind chills anywhere from 15 to 30 below. Mark, I actually think the Dolphins have a puncher's chance in this one. I really do, because I don't think the Chiefs score a lot of points. But, man, all those injuries on defense. No edge pass rush. They don't have a linebacker. Both their safeties didn't practice yesterday. How are they going to stop Kelsey? Give me the Chiefs.
I shouldn't do this. It's not the right pick. But I said it 2 weeks ago.
Look at you.
I said they were going to lose to the Bills, and they were going to beat the Chiefs.
Look at you.
We're thinking about a Chiefs team that is not this Chiefs team. They're not as good as they've been.
Oh, bring it home, big fella.
Come on. I really wish that the offense was as healthy too, because I think if they had all the pieces, I would feel more confident about this. I know the defense is bad, but to your point, Kansas City can't score enough. Tua and Hill and Achane find a way to get this done.
Oh!
I'm taking Miami to win outright.
Love it. Oh, I so hope you're right.
Me too.
All right, 1 o'clock Sunday. The Bills are a 10. 10. Did I say 10? 10-point favorite against the Steelers. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a teaser. The 10 worries me because of the weather. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. So the 10 just worries me. That's all. I think Buffalo's going to win. I'd be shocked if they don't win. But I'm going to tease 10 down to 4. And I'm going to tease the over-under, which is down to 35.5, up to 41.5. So I'm going with a teaser, Bills -4 and under 41.5. By the way, the Steelers' last 4 playoff games, for what it's worth, Mike Tomlin, a defensive coach, and the Steelers haven't won a playoff game in 7 years. Their last 4 playoff games, they've given up 42, 48, 45, and 36 points. Just throwing that out there. Weather's supposed to be horrendous. 15 degrees, 3 inches of snow, 30-plus mile-an-hour winds.
Pittsburgh's 1-10 when TJ Watt doesn't play. They're 3-6-2 against the number when he doesn't play. I'm taking Buffalo to win and cover. I think Buffalo will score a defensive touchdown. I think Buffalo will do what they want with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, to me, is the worst team in the playoffs, both leagues. They don't deserve to be there, but they snuck in. I'll take Buffalo to win and cover.
For what it's worth, the last 9 times we've had a double-digit favorite in the NFL playoffs, they've gone 7-2 against the spread. All right, middle game Sunday, Cowboys 7. It's down to 7. Who's in the 7.5, 8 range most of the week? Down to 7. 7-point favorite against the Packers. Cowboys unbeaten at home, and they score a lot of points at home. Give me Dallas.
I want to pick Green Bay, but they're not going to win this game. They're not good enough. Dallas is at home. The league did everything they could to ensure that Dallas was the 2 seed to try to get them as far as possible in the playoffs.
Oh, boy.
Dallas wins. Dallas covers. Dak has a great game.
Sunday night, Trent will be there. It'll be emotional. This is a bad matchup for the Lions. Stafford, Cooper, Puka. Oh, boy. They can't cover either guy. And Rams only gave up 34 sacks this year, 2 a game. Give me the Rams in a close one. I'm concerned about the Rams kicking game. They don't have one. But give me the Rams close. Dan Campbell goes for 2. They don't convert. They lose by 1.
You are trying to make me jump out of the plane on the way home.
Dan Campbell goes for 2, doesn't get it. Lions lose by 1. He just kind of slipped that in there. I've said for a month that the Lions were going to play the Rams and lose in the playoffs. Trent, I'm sorry. I really am.
I don't accept your apology.
The matchup is bad.
Don't accept your apology.
It is a horrible matchup, but I think the Lions will win a shootout for what it's worth.
Yeah, and they could. They're 3-point favorites. You should feel good. Miller and Moulton both taking the Rams.
Yeah,
historically,
the points.
Historically, that means you back up the truck on the Lions. Listen, we could save the Bucks Eagles for Monday. For what it's worth, I'm taking the Bucks. Pat Kirwan will join us next on Miller and Moulton.
Mark Miller for Molly Maid. Why Molly Maid, you ask? Trust. Moulton was a customer for 15 years. Affordability. Didn't I just say Moulton was a customer for 15 years? Worry-free services. Our professional house cleaners are fully insured and a 24-hour warranty. Call Molly Maids today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. That's mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hey y'all, it's Ben Allen. When it comes to singing and performing live shows, I'm in my comfort zone. When it comes to wanting to surprise my wife with diamonds, I'm a bit lost. That's why I go see my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Jason and Todd helped me blow my wife away when we got engaged, and I've been applauding them ever since. If you're in the market for diamonds this holiday season, Southwest Florida has been giving Jason and Todd a standing ovation for over 20 years. Go see them and let Jason and Todd know that Ben Allen sent you.
Thanks, Ben. We're proud of you and your accomplishments and thrilled that you are part of our Diamond District family.
This holiday season, visit Jason and me at the Diamond District. We look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Good morning, boys.
Hi, Pat.
Trent, are you there?
Yes, what's up?
I am there and here for you, the rescue for you.
Let's
Do not
go.
jump out of the plane, baby.
I have never been more excited for Pat's segment. Because of that, and I want to, there's a lot to talk about. But Pat, thank you. Let's go.
Yeah, it's got to be 2-on-2 here. I can't let this go to 3-on-1. All right. I got David. You got Mark. Hang in there, buddy.
2-on-2. We're playing to 11. Win by 2.
Yes.
Make it. Take it.
And I'll say a couple of things that'll make you feel good on that plane ride.
Okay, good.
In fact, you might want to stand up on the plane and read it back to the whole damn plane.
Sing the fight song.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The Lions have a fight song?
Forward.
No.
Gridiron Heroes is the name of it.
Wow.
Check it out at home if you'd like.
I am not going to go that far with you, kid. But
I'm not.
Is that right up there with Destiny's Child's Independent Woman?
Oh man, this show. We needed Pat to get us back on the.
I'm very happy I tuned in early.
Pat.
Yeah, we meaning him and me. We need each other. Roar, lion, roar.
Trent, this really does remind me, because I told the story about when the Giants, they had gone 18 years in between playoff appearances. And the Giants' first playoff appearance in my life, I had just turned 16, was 1981. And they played in the wild card round, and they were the last game. And so the whole playoff weekend, all right, we had to wait, and they were the 4:30 game on Sunday. And I remember being with my grandfather and sitting down, and I'm like, I cannot believe I'm watching the Giants in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, so the Lions.
But you had to wait through the whole.
Yeah,
you had to wait through it all.
The interesting thing, David, is that Cowboys-Packers game obviously has direct implications, and that's the one right before the Lions game. So that's going to be wrapping up as we're walking in, and we will know potentially if I don't think the Packers have a chance, but if the Lions could be playing for a second home playoff game if they can win the first one.
God, they're cute when they're young.
And, there's your first mistake of the day. I'm on your side, but you're now looking past this game.
Oh, no.
Slow down, bro.
You got that right.
It's only because there's a big financial decision at stake with the tickets and whatnot.
What? You just give it to another girlfriend.
Dear Lord.
Hey.
So Trent's two brothers are going, and his brother's girlfriend's the fourth. His dad is not going. His dad bailed on the game to stay home and watch it with his wife. And I go back with Trent's dad. I've known Trent's dad since I was 17. I was all over him during the show yesterday. Texted him like, "What are you thinking?"
Yeah, and even if Dad doesn't want to go, she shouldn't be going.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
An empty seat is more preferred. You could have sold that seat for all the beer you want to drink.
In the world. She is the sweetest, most greatest.
Oh, she's been that 5 years they've been dating. They're madly in love. Okay, but she's a huge Lions fan. Right. Just put a ring on it, or you stay home. Give me a break.
Might propose at halftime. We'll see.
Is it your girlfriend?
No. It's his brother's.
Even worse.
Here we go.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the third and final hour of Miller and Moulton along the network on a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
And that means Pat Kirwan, he of NFL Radio's Moving the Chains, which is 3 to 7 weekdays during the season. They do a show on Saturdays with all these playoff games. You got a show tomorrow?
Of course. I mean, the gamblers are worried about the weather. They've got a lot of things on their mind. We're on 1 to 4 tomorrow.
Okay.
And, leading right up to the game. So, you know the clientele we're going to get on a Saturday. The guys are very and the ladies too. A lot of women call in. I didn't know they bet as much as they claim they do. So yeah, it's a fun show for 3 hours, and it's a different set of callers.
And Pat's also part of CBS's NFL Today show. CBS with the Super Bowl this year. Pat joining us once again, courtesy of Pinchers, Tampa to Key West, all points in between. Pinchers, where you can't fake fresh.
All right, Pat. Before we get to all the games, there's a lot of other things to get to, and obviously the coaching decisions that have been made. Let's start with Pete Carroll. Just your surprise factor when you found out Pete was pushed aside.
2 weeks ago, I got asked if I thought it was going to happen. And there was enough smoke there that I had to address it with Pete. And he said, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to. And I think 2 days before he finally said he was out, he was claiming he was still coaching. So that thing went on for a couple days there, Monday and Tuesday. And he said to me a couple things that always strike me with Pete. Like he said, I competed really hard for that job to stay. So he didn't surrender right away. And number two, he said, I really felt like I had a chance to help my guys. Remember, his son's on the staff. And I think he weighed out the ability to help those guys. Now, do I think he's going to coach again? I do. I think Mr. Energy Bunny is nowhere, doesn't feel his age. I don't know about this. What are they calling it that they're having him do? Advisor?
Well, he even said he was asked. So what's your position? I don't know. I'm just glad that, they want to keep me around. Well, are you going to assist John Schneider, the GM? No, I'm not going to do that. Well, did they talk to you about what it is you're going to do? No, we haven't discussed a thing, but they basically said they don't want to throw me in the trash heap. Well, I mean, it was a great presser.
Yeah, that's Pete. And the things he says, and he's texting me during it, and I was like hysterical. And then he had a party, and did you see who gave him a big hug at his party?
Russell Wilson showed up on extreme short notice.
Yeah, well, he you know what? He's thought about Pete a lot in the last 2 years.
I bet he has. I'll bet he has. Listen, the obvious one's L.A. He's a legend in L.A. They still talk about him in L.A. Boy, I know the Chargers are in the Harbaugh mix, but boy, I said it yesterday, Pat. If I'm Spanos and the Chargers, I say to Harbaugh, I'm giving you till Sunday, and then I got to move on Pete Carroll because I think there's a team currently in the playoffs that's going to fire their coach, and he'd be perfect there. And I'm thinking Philadelphia. I think he'd be perfect in Philadelphia. And so if I'm the Chargers, I got to move on this quickly.
Well, there's a Rooney rule, so there's no quickly to anything. And that's the problem. Even like trading for coaches. How do you trade for a coach? There's a Rooney rule. And they're not even, all the guys that are under contract can't even talk till after the divisional round. So this thing's going to be slower than people think. Number two, Pete's not moving to the East Coast. I think he established a long time ago he's a West Coast guy. So the Chargers is a great place for him. And if they want to make a big return splash and start selling seats and all that business, and the USC people feel like doing something on Sundays, it'll work out. So you were the first person to text me with that idea. Let's just see what the next couple of days bring. But you think Pete, I know the guy like my brother. Do you think he's going to walk in the building when they have a new head coach? Even if it's someone he knows, he's going to feel I shouldn't be here interfering with the guy's process. He's got great respect for the job, so he's not going to do that. So I don't know what the advisor means. Is he going to sit in the booth with the owner on Sundays? I don't think he's going to do that either.
No.
And recall, there's some history to the quote-unquote advisor role. because that's the role Bill Parcells wanted at the Jets. When he walked out, he said he wanted to be the advisor, which was the impetus for Belichick to say, I'm out of here. And he never advised, to tell you the truth. So advise is just a charade to get through the next few weeks. But if he wants to coach, the energy's there. It's the same as Belichick. The two of them can coach again. So I hope both of them get what they want, whatever that is. And when I know, I'll tell you.
Obviously, the other one is Belichick. Winningest playoff coach ever, 15 away from being the winningest coach ever. He's going to do it somewhere else. Were you at all surprised that this divorce happened?
Well, I thought Bob Kraft would be smarter than this. And I said this on the air, and I'll say it right here. Both owners are going to regret what they just did. Mark my words. Because what was built up in both places is hard to replicate with a new guy. I don't care if he's experienced or not. It's a unique job that both did. So in the case of Bill, here's the wording that surprised me. Because let's see if you guys can define it, because I haven't. These are the exact words from Bill Belichick. We have mutually agreed to part ways. Now, does that mean there was a settlement? Because when I hear mutually, I think settlement. To part ways. So I don't know if he's restricted for the little bit of time here. I don't know that he got what he wanted, but it's clear that he wasn't going to surrender his GM powers, and that would cause the division. He wasn't going to do it. He didn't have to do it, and he preferred to leave rather than surrender that. So here he goes.
Now, Bob Kraft did, after the joint presser, come back a couple hours later and do just a presser for him. And he was asked point blank, hey, Bill was under contract. Why are you not trying to trade him or get something for him? And he basically said, with what Bill gave, with what Tom Brady gave us, I just felt at the end that, listen, if we're going our separate ways, I shouldn't hold them back. They've given us too much. He goes, I basically said, Pat, I don't think it'd be the right thing to do.
Well, because he couldn't get anyone to trade for him. And let's be honest, I was involved with Mr. Bob Kraft. I like Bob a lot, but he traded Parcells to us. So I know how he is when he has a chance to get compensation. There was no chance. Who's trading to New England for Bill Belichick in 1-year contract? And he goes, no, I'm not going to do an extension with you. Bill wasn't doing an extension so Bob could get compensation for him. So there was never going to be a trade. And I think those are nice words by Bob. But I think Bob's a businessman. He knows what leverage is. He had none in the trade business.
Look, good, Pat, I'm not going to say, obviously, Bill Belichick's a great coach, but he does it a certain way. Pete's a coach that is rah-rah. It seems like Pete could walk into another locker room and take over. Can Bill implement the same type of discipline that he had in New England for all those years if he goes into another clubhouse? Is it going to be as easy for Bill to go to another job, if you know what I mean?
I think so. I think players respect history, and he's going to walk in there with a lot of skins on the wall. But I said this yesterday. James Brown and I had a long talk. He was doing a bunch of TV things, and he knew that I worked for both guys. And I also called Dante Scarnicchia and had him on the show because Dante is the only other guy I know that worked for both guys that I know well. So the first thing I said to Dante, I said, you can just shoot a hole in everything I say one at a time here or agree with me. I said, Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll have so much more in common than people ever would understand. I know both of them very well, and most people don't know them at all, but the picture of them is exactly what Mark just said. And so Dante said, yeah, Pete looks like he's running a gym class outside on the playground, having a great time, jumping up and down with the kids. And Bill looks like a guy that someone's sticking needles in his hand. So, and he said, but they are so much alike. They're both defensive guys, so they think of the game the same way. Field position, punt the ball, all that stuff. Both of them had GM duties and control the personnel, which they felt they needed, which they learned at their other jobs, that if you don't have it, you're not going to win the way they want to win. And there are many other things about him that are a lot alike. And I'll say this to you too. I'm in Pete's office at USC one day. We're just sitting talking about a bunch of things going on. And the secretary sticks her head in and says, "Hey, there's a visitor here." Pete, of course, goes, "Yeah, who is it?" She says, "Coach Belichick." Bill was at USC showing the campus to his daughter and came by, sat down. Those guys had great conversation, laughs, and everything else. So the perception that A, they don't like each other, B, that they're totally opposite, they're not. There's a lot of stuff about them that's very similar. The approachability is where things are different. Took me a while to get warmed up, or for Bill to get warmed up to me. Pete, of course, the first day I met him, I said, "Hi, I'm Pat Kirwan." You know, he said, "Hi, I'm Bud Grant." That's how he started his relationship. He's goofy.
He's Pat Kirwan. He joins us once again, courtesy of Pinchers. Pat, we have less than a minute. I do think, though, listen, I think Belichick is the greatest of all time, but I would not let him be in charge of personnel going forward. I would say, Bill, I'm sorry. Your track record the last 8 years is not good. I can't have you have final say on the groceries. I can have you have tremendous input on the groceries, but I can't give you final say, man. You've made too many mistakes for a long time now. I don't think that's unreasonable for an owner to say to Bill.
He said, well, he'd say, "Thank you, I'll see you," and he'll move on.
Well, really? I mean, how many, in all seriousness, Pat,
here's what's going to happen. He's going to bring his own GM with him, and he's going to say the guy has the power over the draft, which we know damn well the guy won't. That's what they're all doing. Do you know these GM candidates that are all interviewing? Most of them, their name was sent in by the coach candidate and said, "Hey, here's 3 guys I know I could work with. Why don't you interview them and see which one you like?" That's what's going on.
Okay.
I know one guy that's gotten 3 teams already, and he was recommended by 3 different head coaches. I go, "You got it made, dude. You'll be able to pick your place and your coach."
He's Pat Kirwan. NFL Radio's moving to chains 3 to 7 Monday through Friday. Tomorrow, 1 to 4, leading into Super Wild Card Weekend. He's also part of CBS's NFL Today Show. Pat joining us once again, courtesy of Pinchers. From Tampa to Key West, and with about a dozen locations in between. Pinchers, because you can't fake fresh. We'll go through the games one at a time with Pat Kirwan on the other side. It's Miller and Moulton on a Football Friday right here on the Florida Sports Network.
Get set for the thrill of a lifetime with Mud Wheelers Gone Wild at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. 3 full days of mud, trails, camping, and more. All for ATVs and side-by-sides only. Friday night is movie night. Ride up and relax. Compete for cash, prizes, and more. With events like our new ATV and side-by-side bounty obstacle challenge, side-by-side and barrel races, and scavenger hunt. Don't miss this family-friendly ATV and side-by-side only event at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. Visit redneckmudpark.com for discount tickets and details.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other. With a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
So, David, you actually were the impetus for the idea when you read out what it cost to get a Kansas City Chief ticket. And so then I went through all the games, what the cheapest seat in every house. So theirs is at $77. I offered that ticket, the $77 seat at the top row of the stadium, to every Dolphin caller that I said, I'll buy you the ticket. Every one of them turned it down. I said, well, you can turn it down, but you're going to have to tell me why. So, of course, they started with the cold. Most of them, they said, I don't want to go and see them lose and freeze to death as well. So they don't believe they're going to win.
And it's gone down since you
$44
did your show.
$44 on StubHub right now.
Yeah, that's in less than 24 hours.
And
Pat,
StubHub's typically more expensive than Ticketmaster too.
And Pat, the joke is that come kickoff, your choice will be: do I pay $6 to watch the game in Arrowhead or at home on Peacock?
I am not getting Peacock. It's easy. You can get it for free, all that crap. I'm just not doing it. I want to be able to say I'm one of the guys, because when they lie about their attendance for that game and how many viewers they had, I'd like to say, well, I'm one of the ones that didn't watch it. What a bunch of clowns.
I already have Peacock, so I have no problem watching it.
My wife says we have it. I'm still not watching it.
That's on you.
Yeah, I want it on me. I want to say I decided not to watch a game on Peacock.
Well, the best is Moulton, who's instead of getting Peacock's going to go to a bar, buy 2-3 beers, a meal, spend $50 instead of spending $6.
Yep, that's my story, Pat. I'll end up spending $40. Okay, but I'm not going to give Peacock and the NFL the satisfaction to get my click.
That's it. And here's a funny one. The guy we call Grumpy Finn, he's a Dolphin fan. He lives in Houston. He got seats in the row 3 behind the Dolphin bench for $150. That's how much they dropped. That seat, that's a $500 seat in a playoff game, but it's $150. But he goes, I'm driving up to the game with my wife and my son, the 3 of us. The seats are only $150, but we all spent $400 each on clothing. I said, well, do what people I know do. Don't take the tags off. Then you go to college, return them the next day.
That's it.
You don't need them.
I do laundry on Friday. I go to the store, buy a new outfit, and take it back on Saturday.
Yeah. Hiding the tags in a wedding when you had to buy a suit. Oh, yep. Wait a second. I got to stick this tag in here somewhere.
Many a woman has done that with a dress for a special occasion and returned it.
A one-day rental. What do you think the second cheapest ticket is right now?
Tampa.
Buffalo.
Houston.
Ooh.
But you guys were close. Third was Buffalo. Fourth was Tampa. But the way things are going about, hey, did you see they might move the game?
I thought it was brought up briefly last night, and the answer was no.
Well, they told the Cleveland Municipal Stadium there to get the place ready. So now that the weather guys have changed the forecast to blizzard.
Okay, last I heard, 3 inches of snow, 15 degrees, 30 to 50 mile an hour winds.
All right, and this is what I was told. Winds could gust to 60 or 65, temperature in the 20s, a chance for a foot of snow. Now, I've been there when that's happened to us. We landed one time on a sunny day. The game started, it was nice. By the time the game ended, there was 6 inches of snow on the ground, and we were having a hard time getting to the airport. It was like 8 inches by the time we got there. I don't know how they can move the game.
Has the NFL ever moved a playoff game?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think so. I think you'd know the answer if it would happen, Pat, if you know what I mean.
Just trying to think. I mean, in the Super Bowl era, I'm trying to.
We're coming back.
I can't remember it.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour. Our remaining moments with Pat Kirwan, NFL Radio, CBS's NFL Today Show. Pat joining us once again, courtesy of Pinchers, Tampa to Key West, all points in between Pinchers, because you can't fake fresh. All right, let's go through the games one at a time. Got a couple minutes per game. We start off in Houston, a rematch from a few weeks ago, but Houston didn't have CJ Stroud and got blown out in Cleveland. Now the game's in Houston. Injuries on both sides. Cleveland a 2-point favorite. Go.
Yeah, injuries are going to be a factor in every game we talk about, so they are what they are. Roster depth, as we always say, is important. Yeah, Stroud didn't play the first time, but Flacco threw for 364 yards. Got a good look at this team. I broke down Flacco's, when does he throw touchdowns? You know when he throws them? In the second quarter, 9 of them. So he assesses what he sees. He's a smart old guy. He sees the coverages, and then he picks them apart. So I like Cleveland in this game. Houston, there's a lot to like about them. They just haven't played the hard schedule that Cleveland has. Cleveland's played 6 games against playoff teams. Houston has not done that. So I like them. Houston's doing a pretty nice job on defense right now, but I think of Cleveland's defense as really one of the best defenses in the NFL. So there's a reason to love them in my mind. I think Stroud he's a first-timer. I think he's going to play pretty good. But at the end of the day, as Bill Cowher says, rookie quarterbacks in playoff games, it's a different world. I think he's great, but I don't think it's going to be his day in this place. I'll take Cleveland. You can have the 2.5 points.
Miami and Kansas City, the number's 5 for what it's worth. Can Tua and the boys get it done in the frigid temperatures in Kansas City?
No, I don't think so. And I heard you say that they're the old reality of them in the cold. We can give you all the numbers you want. I don't think they're going to do it, and I wouldn't bet against Mahomes at home in a game like this. They're an ugly football team. They are not the Chiefs of the past Super Bowls, and it all starts with their offensive tackles. Miami, I don't think I'd bet on them. Kansas City, by the way, and why I'm taking them is the defense. Last 4 weeks, they're giving up under 17 points a game, and they know exactly how to play the young receiver that used to be their teammate. So I like Kansas City in this game. I think Miami's going to struggle in a lot of ways, and the weather's a big part of it.
It's going to be colder in Kansas City, but the weather might actually be worse in Buffalo Sunday afternoon. 3 to 6 inches at least of snow, 15 to 20 degrees, 30 to 50 mile-an-hour winds. Buffalo, a huge favorite over Pittsburgh, who hasn't won a playoff game in 7 years.
I'm not betting on Pittsburgh in this game. Without TJ Watt, which I heard Mark talking about, it's clear they are a totally different team without him. I don't like where they're coming. Mason Rudolph's little run's going to stop soon, and it's going to stop right here. And I like what Sean McDermott. Bill Cowher's up there today with Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. Pretty excited to go up and see those guys. I love the way Sean's coaching defense right now. And they're another team. When you look at them, they're giving up under 17 points a game on defense, and they're on a 4-game winning streak. Everything's in the right direction. Josh Allen will take over the game, and when the wind's howling and the snow's blowing, he'll be running for touchdowns.
Dallas is as good as anybody at home. They're a 7-point favorite against Green Bay.
I love Dallas in this game. Playing in Dallas Stadium and home field, it's wide-eyed time. I talked to a couple of the Packer players. You can get mesmerized when you're a youngster going in there. And Green Bay is the youngest team in the league. Is that right, David?
Yes, they are.
They're going to be walking into that stadium, and the mystique of Dallas, it'll affect them. And they're going to try it to not have it affect them, but it will. And I like Dallas. I like Prescott to throw for a lot of yards. I like their running game. And I like that Dan Quinn is going to win a couple games before he moves on to be a head coach somewhere.
I'm trying to find the pressure point for Green Bay, Pat, if you know what I mean. Like, could Rashawn Gary have a big game? Well, he hasn't had a big year. You could take advantage of the tackles in Dallas, but I don't know if Rashawn Gary can do it. Christian Watson against one of those DBs. I'm trying to find where is it that Green Bay can win a matchup and start to take control of this game.
I think the only place you can look, and you may not come up with an answer you like, is the quarterback. The young quarterback is pretty athletic and a playmaker. He can scramble around and make a couple of plays, but he won't do it. I don't think he will. But unless he does that, this is my point. Unless he does it, they're going to get pounded. And he won't do it.
The Rams go to Detroit. Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff. This is a highlight of the weekend. Trent, our producer, is getting ready to fly back to Detroit for the game. Is he going to watch his Lions finally get a playoff victory?
Well, all I'll say is he had 4 seats for this game, and he'd offered one to someone that doesn't deserve to be there. And if he called me, I would have gone with them because Detroit's going to win the game. And look, everyone I know is taking the Rams. Oh, they're really hot. Well, let me tell you about their little hot streak. And everyone's, they're excited. Want to hear who they played? Here they are. Sam Darnold, Tyrod Taylor, Sam House / Brissett, and Derek Carr. That's who they've beaten. They haven't beaten anybody named Jared Goff and company. So I look at this and go, and even Derek Carr, who lost, he threw 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards. Jared Goff and his receivers can match what the Rams are going to do. And everyone loves Puka. How many touchdowns does Puka have? In the last month, he's got like 1. He catches all these routes. I'm not buying it. I'll take Detroit. I trust Dan Campbell. Yes, he's going to go for 2. He's going to miss, but then he's going to get the onside kickback. That's to you, David.
That would be very Dan Campbell-esque too, Pat. It really would.
Trent, that's for you, buddy.
I appreciate it, Pat. Go Lions.
Can't believe you didn't offer that seat to me, damn it.
I didn't know you'd want it.
I thought you'd like to talk football with someone rather than, can I get you another Shirley Temple? I mean, that's what you're going to be doing.
Unbelievable. We won't have you till Tuesday of next week. So Monday night, Philly at Tampa. Philly dominated this game week 3. A lot has happened since then. Baker's injured. I feel much better about this game if Baker was healthy. He's injured. He may even be more injured than Hurts. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, both quarterbacks are questionable to say the least. We all know what's wrong with Philly. It's a mess. I give you the 3 things that are wrong with this football team. Their turnover ratio is bad. Okay, they're -6. They're the worst in the playoffs by far. Hurts does not have passing production. In the last 4 weeks is what I'm talking about, David, not the season.
Gotcha.
The last 4 weeks is the only thing scouts look at. They're -6, so they turn the ball over too much. Hurts throws 4 touchdown passes in 5 games. Not enough, and the worst part is their run defense. And we've talked about this. The first part of the season, 9 games, when they were roaring on defense, you couldn't run on them. They were giving up 66 yards a game and stuffing everybody. They go on the bye. Who knows what vacations those guys took. When they came back, they haven't stopped anyone's run game. It's 145 yards a game. So run defense, turnovers, and passing production. And now you're looking at A.J. Brown probably not playing. So you really already know that the receiving and the passing part of it for Philly's terrible. But you got to start looking at Tampa. I love Tampa. They're 1-4 against playoff teams. So I'm taking Philly to rebound.
I think Evans Godwin against the Eagles corners is the game, Pat. If Baker can deliver, because I don't think Bradbury's been horrendous, and he can't cover Godwin. I'm seriously, Godwin should have a big game. If the Bucs wide receivers don't, I don't think they win, but I think they're going to have a big night, Pat.
I want them to. I have Todd Bowles on every week. I'm a big fan of Todd. We both think something bad might happen in Philly if they don't win this game. They're a team that went to a Super Bowl. I'm going to bet that they can, circle the wagons, if you will, rally the troops and play better. But it's really about Baker not being healthy and not mobile. Go after him. And I love Baker, but he's going to be a sitting duck.
And Tampa to be able to run the football would be an accomplishment because they've not been able to do it all year long. He's Pat Kirwan, NFL Radio's Moving the Chain, CBS Sports, the NFL Today Show, and he joins us twice a week, courtesy of Pinchers. Pinchers with locations from Tampa to Key West where you cannot fake fresh. Pat, until Tuesday, enjoy the games this weekend, my friend.
Take care, fellas. Always great to be on with you.
Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening.
Located on the East Owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Mark Till in the Twitch chat room. I have one of the Detroit Lions Eddie Murphy jackets, and I'm wearing it.
Nice.
To the game/tailgate. I actually brought that to Florida by accident. It was in my car. I'm never going to need it down here, but.
All right, they got a big thing saying breaking news on the ESPN thing, but they haven't yet said what the breaking news is.
Oh, baby. I say Vrabel to the Patriots. That's my guess.
No, it's too soon.
Yeah, it is.
Unless this is just more Belichick stuff, but
Do we have one more surprising firing? Maybe the Bears go back on their word on Eberflus or something? I don't know.
Oh, Patriots have hired Jared Mayo as their next head coach. That's their breaking news.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Pat picked KC, West Coast L fan.
So they stayed in house. That had to be Bill's decision, right?
I
mean, or at least factored in. They had to ask him at least who he thinks or what.
It might be to keep his kids' jobs. I don't know. Mayo's the new Patriot coach.
Yeah, they didn't have to go through any sort of interview process because apparently they had filed paperwork with the league, and so they could just hire Mayo. They don't have to interview a bunch of people.
So where does Vrabel go? Because I thought that was a lock.
See, I didn't, because remember the reports were, remember when they were playing in London and the report was if they lost that he might fire him and make Mayo the head coach then. I mean, I thought it was obvious that Mayo was the next guy in line.
Well, I did too, but then Vrabel became available, which wasn't the case then.
True, but I got to be honest. I know Vrabel loved it there and all. You want that job?
No, but I think he would have.
Really? No. Really? No. It's the worst roster in the league. You really can argue.
Well, is it worse than Carolina's? Come on now.
Carolina's defense is actually graded out like 4th best in the league. I mean, their offense is far and away the worst in the league.
That's
a bad roster with no quarterback. Are you sure?
We're talking about Mike Vrabel.
I understand, but Mike wants to win. Mike was unhappy with the roster in Nashville. Have you taken a look at the roster in New England?
Yeah, I get it. I just think there's a matter of pride there, and he would have rolled his sleeves up and done well there, I think.
No, I think there's a better situation for Mike Vrabel. I think Mike's like, listen, I love, best experience of my career so far, but oof. I think Vrabel's fine going elsewhere.
What about Vrabel to the Raiders?
Well, my understanding is it's Harbaugh or Antonio Pierce for the Raiders.
And again, I don't disagree with the Pierce thing, but it's Vrabel getting fired.
Okay, how about this? How about when the Philly fires Sirianni, if they can't get Belichick, because he might go to Atlanta, they go Vrabel. How about Mike Vrabel in Philly?
That fits.
Yeah. And I think it fits Vrabel, too.
That fits, by the way. Vrabel and Philly fits.
It feels right.
He beat him in a Super Bowl.
But the fan base would appreciate him because he's a hard-nosed guy.
And they think he's a good coach.
Here we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
Man, I love this week. Can we have this week every week? Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. If you don't know which I'm referring, I mean, this is a week everybody gets hired and fired. Man, this is fun. I mean, every show this week, somebody's been hired or fired. Gerard Mayo just became the new head coach of the Patriots while we were talking to Pat. That took a long time.
Yeah, that was already done.
Yeah. Remember the reports from Tom Curran, who's connected, NBC Sports Boston. He thought it might happen after they lost in London or wherever they were playing in Europe. So there you go. That's one. 7 more to go.
At least.
There'll be more. Nick Sirianni, baby. Make sure before you fly down to Tampa, you get those cardboard boxes ready. It's coming.
More and more people are starting to predict that as well. David, you were quick on that, the Sirianni thing.
Well, know somebody who knows what's going on there really well. And he said 3 weeks ago, he goes, that's a disaster. He goes, don't be surprised if Nick Sirianni gets fired. I went, come on. He said, okay. All right. So, Adam Schefter this morning said, Nick Sirianni might get fired after the playoffs. Oh, really? Okay. Bill Belichick's available. Mike Vrabel's available. Jim Harbaugh's available. Pete Carroll's available.
Although Pat Kirwan, who was just on the show, said no way Pete Carroll to Philly. That his call is that he's not coming east.
He has been west now for 20 years. I mean, he was east before that. I mean, he was defense coordinator with the Jets, head coach of the Jets, head coach of the Patriots. All right. Pete had a lot of ties east. But yeah, he's been west since he went to USC.
If and when that Eagles job opens up, that has to be the best job available, right?
Better than the Chargers? And I'm not
No, it's that or the Chargers. I would lean Philly because of the quarterback situation, and it's already a playoff roster you're inheriting, even though it has flaws.
You guys
it's old.
It is. That's a good point. It's old. But the division, too, I know you got Dallas, but you don't have to go deal with Mahomes.
Well, you could argue if an NFC job opening is better than any AFC job opening. Obviously, the one conference right now is tougher than the other. You could make that argument. The Chargers have about 40 to 50 million. They have to lop off their roster, too. So they're going to have to make some hard decisions, but obviously most people feel they have one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the league. The Eagles situation gets interesting, Mark, because they could lose the soul of their team on both sides. Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey may walk. I mean, that's the soul of the room right there.
And I think they both do, for what it's worth.
I do too. And I don't know how much longer Lane Johnson's going to do it either. I mean, there's a lot of heart and soul that could walk out of that organization. Then they'll make some, and then Jalen starts really getting paid. And it's on the books, and you can't do anything about it. So, these windows, that's why what the Patriots and the Chiefs and the Steelers and what have you have done over the years is remarkable, because these windows get small really quickly. Listen, you guys were surprised. We did a little three-way texting. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before.
David, it may have been both. There's so much communication going on in this show right now. I'm confused and scared all at the same time. 10 hours of texting yesterday.
Trent, for the record, ladies and gentlemen, sent out a text at 11:03 last night urging the two of us to turn on the Michigan State game immediately. 11:03 at night on a Thursday? Doesn't he know combined? We're like 110 years old, dude. What, 11 o'clock at night on a Thursday?
If nothing else, in this month and a half since taking this job, I have learned that if you guys are not awake or whatever, you're just not interested. You won't text back anyways. So I just figured I'd fire off a text.
I was in a coma. Literally, I was in a coma when you sent that text.
I was trying so hard to stay awake to watch the end of that game. Every commercial break was an adventure for me.
But you're right. There's been an unbelievable amount of communication with this show, and it is frightening both of the hosts, Miller and Moulton, because the young producer really likes to communicate.
And I love it. I'm all for it.
Right. Up to a point, though. Up to a point. So anyway, we're doing one of these, three-way, morale's high. People are getting hired, fired, the whole deal. And I said, I got to be honest. Of all the jobs out there, I want the Atlanta job, because they got decent lines of scrimmage, and they got a wide receiver, a tight end, and a running back. They got salary cap room. They need a quarterback. And I would just sit down with Kirk Cousins and say, you're coming to Atlanta. What's it going to cost? No, I'm kidnapping your family. You're coming to Atlanta. We're ready to win now. We will dominate this division if you come here next year. 11 wins minimum, probably 12 or more. We will dominate that division. Our roster's in the best shape going forward of any roster in that division. The Saints are $74 million over the cap.
David, you could argue that Atlanta's in the best position with everybody not named San Francisco and Dallas in the NFC right now going forward. Maybe Detroit.
I would look at Kirk Cousins and say, no, seriously, dude, you want to win a Super Bowl. You want to play deep into the playoffs. You want to come to Atlanta. Do we want to talk the NFC North next year? Packers' youngest roster in the league. Lions ain't going anywhere. And goodness knows the Bears have the assets, and they won 7 games as it was. No, you want to come to our division. You want to play in a dome. We're ready to win. If you were with us this year, we would have won 11 games. I'm really high on the Atlanta job. And if I'm Belichick,
but they need Kirk Cousins.
They do.
I think the Cousins Belichick thing has potential to work and work well.
And I would say to Bill, listen, you come here, I'll get you Kirk Cousins. All right. And you won't have to do much else. You could coach what we have. And I think we'll be playing deep into January next year with what we have if you're coaching them. Just say, I might be nuts. But.
Well, and the city would go bat blank crazy for him. I really think they would. They want a winner. And I mentioned it yesterday. Arthur Blank's not getting any younger.
He's in his early 80s.
Yes.
Stephen Ross, Arthur Blank, Jerry Jones. I mean, you got some owners here. Hell, Robert Kraft's in his mid-70s. I mean.
Well, yeah, but he's got enough.
He does. He's got a few things going. Yeah. He looks up. He sees laundry. He goes, oh, well, that's right. We did do that. Yep. So anyway, that's my thoughts about jobs and what have you. But I think Sirianni's in huge trouble. I think the organization is determined he's lost the room and he ain't getting it back.
If they win, can he still get fired?
Yes. Because I think then he's going to go to Frisco and they're going to lose by 30. So I think it's going to be a bad playoff ending either way. He squeaks out a win over a team that they dominated 4 months ago. And so the Eagles will go, well, look at how much we've gone backwards since. And then they'll just go and get absolutely humiliated again. Remember, they entered the playoffs 1-5 in their last 6. So the ownership can look right at them when they fire them and go, dude, you lost 6 of your last 8. You lost to Arizona at home. Okay, come on.
Mind-boggling that they're not the division winner from where they were.
You mean 10-1?
What they gave away at the end of the season.
Yep. Hey, it's the same with the Dolphins. Philly lost to Arizona at home. The Dolphins lost to Tennessee at home. I know you guys laugh at us when we say when the schedule maker gives you a win, you got to go get it. It's amazing if teams just do that at the end of the year. Because if the Dolphins were the 2, they wouldn't have played their guys against the Bills. The Bills would have won anyway. The Bills would be the 6. The Dolphins would be hosting the Steelers without TJ Watt. Then the Dolphins would be hosting Kansas City if Kansas City beat the Bills. If the Bills won, they'd be hosting the winner of the Cleveland-Houston game. I mean, even this Dolphins team, in the state that they're in, if they had beaten Tennessee, you can actually go, damn, they would have limped all the way to the AFC Championship game.
Instead, they're going to play on the road in perhaps negative temperatures. Wind chills, it's going to be in the minus 20s. The 3rd coldest game ever played. That's all that happened with that loss to Tennessee.
No, there's no, ramifications from the final 4 minutes of that game at all. Listen, Marty Schottenheimer got fired after going 14-2. Okay, when an organization decides, and the owner there had to choose between the GM and the head coach. They hadn't spoken in over a year. He had to choose between the GM and the head coach. He chose the GM. They went 14-2. And what's even crazier is no one else ever hired Marty Schottenheimer again, which I still don't get to this day. But so Gerard Mayo, that's the first hiring of the season, right?
Yes.
So 1 down, 7 to go.
We didn't even bring up the over-unders with Kirwan today. I figure we save that till Tuesday.
Yeah. And with Belichick being let go since he was the GM, that's 5 GM openings also, at least. Because Raiders have an interim GM. Chargers really don't even have one of those. Okay. You got New England. You got Washington because Ron Rivera was the final voice there. And Carolina blew out their general manager. I mean, so right now we still have 7 head coaching vacancies and 5 GM vacancies minimum. And you wait.
Ironically, both coaches in Tampa and Philadelphia could be gone. Philadelphia wins, Bowles could still get fired.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't think it will be at the recommendation of the general manager. I think, but that's happened before in Tampa where the owners just come in and said, you know what? I'm making a change. And the GM went, he said, I'm making a change. And I could change you too. So I agree with you. I still think Bowles is a little tenuous. I don't think he should be, by the way. I mean, they had a winning record this year. They had a better record this year with Baker than they had last year with Brady. They played better this year, believe it or not, even though I think the roster was more limited this year than last year. I mean, don't you think
Todd the injuries this year the way they went through them last year, though?
Don't you think Todd Bowles slightly overachieved this year?
Yes.
So then
I
why
thought
do you
they were I thought they were a 6-win team, David.
Yeah, I thought they were a third place team. Absolutely.
And they're lucky to play in the worst division by a mile.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, a 6-win team who won 9 games, most likely because they got to play Carolina. And
but if they win 9 games in a playoff game, I couldn't fire him. But if they lose the playoff game, I think all bets are off, David. I do.
I think it would depend on if there's any phone calls that are taking place this week with some of the guys that are available in which they really, if all of a sudden the guy who got let go in New England or the guy who got let go in Nashville are like, what are you guys doing? What do you want to know? Then that's a different story.
But I think when it's said and done, I think win or lose, Bowles is going to keep his job.
I hope so. They got a lot of other issues to worry about there. I don't think coaching is the one that's really holding them back.
No, the roster's holding them back more than the coach is holding them back.
And they had to eat a lot of salary this year on the cap. They had to eat Brady this year, which limited them. Now, I have to admit, I do not want to think about the Bucs going forward without Mike Evans.
They're going to keep Mike Evans.
I hope so. Let Devin White go, but you got to keep Mike Evans. Miller and Moulton. So we've made our picks, by the way. We're both, I'm taking the Chiefs. Mark's taking the Dolphins. We're both taking Cleveland. We're both taking Buffalo. Both taking Dallas. And we're both taking the Rams at Trent's angst.
I hope I'm wrong about that, Trent.
So do
I really do.
I'm rooting for the Lions the whole game, just so you know. The Diamond District bonus hour is next. Thanks for listening to Miller and Moulton.
Mark Miller for Molly Maid. Why Molly Maid, you ask? Trust. Moulton was a customer for 15 years. Affordability. Didn't I just say Moulton was a customer for 15 years? Worry-free services. Our professional house cleaners are fully insured and a 24-hour warranty. Call Molly Maids today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. That's mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to shop with the best. And the mall is not the place to be. Here are my friends, Jason and Todd with the Diamond District.
Take a stroll in the mall, pop into a few jewelry stores, and you'll soon discover you're in the wrong place. Rings begin to look all alike. You're not finding GIA certified diamonds. You quickly realize you know more than a salesperson helping you, and all the same financing gets pushed on you.
Visit Jason and me, and you'll find America's top bridal designers dealing exclusively with the Diamond District. You'll find the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds, all priced 8 to 10% over cost. You'll find educated sales consultants who have many years' experience and are not paid commissions.
And you'll find Todd and me in the store nearly every day, wanting to shake your hand and welcome you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
David catching a little stray from West Coast Dolphin in the Twitch chat room.
Oh, what's going on?
He says he's so glad David is picking the Chiefs. That means
Really?
the Dolphins will win.
Really? I went 6-1 last week. I picked Michigan in both games and against the number. I mean, come on now.
He's on a heater.
I was more right than wrong this year. Remember, Priest, come on. I was all over the Lions. Of course, I was all over the Jags.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Oh, my God. It'd be awesome if the Dolphins won. Whatever.
What was that?
I'm reading the comment, the Jags just fell apart, and I said, did they ever? Not a good week. I think it's been a good, fun week.
It's been a great week. And I do, I can't help it. But when Gary does Dan Patrick after us, there's part of me that really enjoys that.
Hour 4. Here we go.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the Diamond District Bonus Hour edition on a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
It's Super Wild Card Weekend. And
Super Wild Card Weekend. Sorry,
Yes,
I was just following you there, David.
said it that way for a reason. It's super. Is it really? I mean, one of the games is on Peacock, for goodness sakes.
And it's the Dolphins game that's on Peacock.
I know.
It's super enough to get us a poll question, David.
Well, would you pay the $5.99 for Peacock for the game? And so far, it's over 60% of you are going, no way, man. Not going to do it. And yes, okay, I voted no. And I even stated publicly, okay, on the Twix there, what I, have said on this show. I would rather spend $40, $50 at a local sports bar and give them that than give the NFL the satisfaction that I bowed down to their greed.
I want everybody to think about what he just said. I'll go spend $40 or $50.
Yep.
Because I don't want the NFL to think that they've got me.
Yeah. To get the satisfaction of, look at those suckers. They'll pay $6 for a wild card game. We've got these guys. No, you don't. No. I'm going to go
for those of you that aren't watching it, what are you going to do Saturday night? You hang out with your wife?
Well, I mean, it is Make It Happen night after all.
Okay.
I mean, that's what Saturday night's supposed to be.
Enjoy.
Well,
I'll be watching playoff football on my couch.
Okay.
With my wife. Who knows? Halftime, maybe Make It Happen time.
I was going to say, can't you do both?
Well, I mean, halftime is 13 minutes. I mean,
And I don't know what the hell we're going to do for the other 12, but.
Well, time it takes to get to the room and come back.
There is nothing like the bonus hour on this show. Nothing like it.
So, no, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction, the greedy blankety blanks. I mean, think about it, 110 million. There's 32 teams. Plus, they have to share this revenue with the players. So, their owners aren't even making $2 million per owner for doing this. Seriously? You're making $20 to $22 billion. The TV money is $11 billion alone. You really need to do this? No, you don't. This is greedy. This is ridiculous. Come on now.
It's just greed. It's just simple greed. Well, that's David. There's a great quote from a movie you like a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Greed is good.
Yeah, that was 87, Mark. Things have changed.
Things have changed. Greed's no longer good.
Well, everybody.
The NFL's too greedy.
Well, yes. In this instance, yes. Come on now. You ask our time and our money for a lot of things. Really? Now we got to give you $6 more bucks at least.
$6.
Right, and that's
like they're holding them hostage for their firstborn.
It's the
$6. People are spending $300 a month on cable, for the love of God. It's $6.
Mark, it's the principle.
$6. David, you can't even get a value meal for $6 anymore.
Oh, I know. Yeah, my wife.
Run your ass to McDonald's, get your number 3 supersize, and spend your $6 on Peacock, for crying out loud.
Mark, I get a number 2 supersized. Okay, so come on now. And yes, I know my wife can't even get her venti for the amount of money it would cost to watch the Dolphins and the Chiefs.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
I'm not going to pay $6 for a game because the newspaper still costs a quarter.
Well, I wasn't going to bring the Naples Daily News into this, but okay.
By the way, is that our new voice for David? Is that what you're going to start doing if he keeps this up?
I don't know, but it seems like it might work.
I have to admit, when he was doing the voice, I thought, well, it does kind of apply here. So, Mark, I'm not saying it's logical, but it is principled. Okay. I'm not going to give them the satisfaction. I would much rather support the local economy. There's a couple guys down the street that run an establishment. I literally would rather give them. I'd rather support their bar staff. I would rather give them the money than support this venture by the NFL. I don't want more of this. I want 137 people to watch this game. The NFL's got their money. They ain't giving them a refund, okay? I want nobody to watch this game because the more people that watch this game, the more they'll do it.
Yeah.
So
they've been doing it for a while. The Thursday night games are streamed on Amazon Prime. This is the future.
Mark, I get regular season. I get it. You know what? I didn't have a problem with the Bills-Chargers regular season game on Peacock. I get it. It's one of your broadcast partners. All the broadcast partners are trying to promote and make their streaming profitable. I get it. CBS with Paramount, ESPN with ESPN Plus, NBC with Peacock. I get it. We all get it. We do. I'm okay. You want to do the one-off with the Bills-Chargers, whatever. We can live without the Bills-Chargers. Come on now. It's a playoff game. We get 13 of these suckers. Stop it already. Stop it. For the amount of money you won't spend on a long snapper. Come on. No, I'm not going to support it. I'm not. No matter how stupid I sound and stupid I look, I'm not going to support it.
You do not look stupid.
Yes, I do. I do. I know I do.
Sound a little bit stupid for this? Maybe, but you don't look stupid. I want to make sure you look very distinguished.
Well, and I did shave for today's show. I look a lot better than I have.
Both of us did.
Yeah.
First time this week.
I know.
Another reason to check out twitch.tv/Miller and Moulton. The clean shaven version.
Yeah. But no, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not kidding.
What if you have Peacock and this?
That'll really frost me. At this point, you know what? If I actually take a look this afternoon, which I will, and it turns out I've got it, then I'll just rationalize it and go, well, I didn't purchase it separately.
I've spent so much money with this company. They gave it to me for free.
And I'm so dumb I didn't know it. I mean, I guess they can track it, right? So, I mean, in theory, I could not watch it, and then I'm not part of the ratings. I just want the number to be really small. Like, I'm not kidding on this one. I'll be serious for a second. I really hope the number's under 10 million. This is a playoff game. If this game was on NBC, this game would do 20 to 22 million. A wild card game on a Saturday night involving the Chiefs would do in the low 20s. Maybe, just maybe, it could get to the mid 20s. I really want this game to be like 8 million. I want the NFL to go, yeah, we can't do this. No, we can't do this. We can't have 1/3 of our normal audience watching our product. No, we can't do that. Mm-mm.
Greg chimed in, watching on Facebook. I'm totally in line with David. The NFL is just a bunch of greedy jerks heading to Jack's Bait Shack to watch the game and listen to Smack Daddy. And for Mark, for $300 a month, I should not have to pay an extra $6 to watch a playoff game.
Yeah. He's right, by the way. I mean, come on, it's enough. Enough. You want us to buy ticket? You want us to do the fantasy stuff, and you buy the merchandise. In October, we buy the fake pink breast cancer stuff, you guys don't care about breast cancer. We do, you don't. But we buy your crap anyway.
And I love Jack's. I love Smack Daddy. But 2 beers. Once you've had your second beer, you've spent more than it would cost to get Peacock.
Yes. And you
That's
know
without
what?
tipping. That's without being part of the Bills Mafia and tipping 10%.
Ooh. Ooh, look at that one off the top rope. Really? They're bad tippers?
Yes.
This is documented and everything?
Yes.
Wow, that's not good.
Which is really disappointing to hear.
It
because
is.
They're great fans.
Come on, guys.
They're
No,
very
you
close
got
to Canada.
Do they not tip well in Canada?
They don't tip at all in Canada. They're terrible tippers. Canadians are cheap.
terrible tippers. Yeah. All right.
Well, maybe they don't have. You know what? That's their defense. They don't have American cash. They can't tip you in cash. They don't have it. I got your back, Bills fan. I see what's going on.
And I'm being accused of being the old penny pincher because I don't want to go out and spend $50 to watch a game for $6. It's just if you're a lot. Look, and I do, Brady, and I appreciate the comments, and I will take all of them. My point here is that I'm listening to people justify going to spend $50 because they don't want to spend $6. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's who you're spending it with.
Yourself.
Mark.
You're actually going out to be by yourself to spend it alone.
Mark, I don't have any friends.
Neither do I.
I understand. Well, you have a few, actually.
Couple, maybe.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, besides, Mark, this is how I act. I mean, who wants to hang around with somebody like this in public? But come on now. I'm going to hit you where you live here, okay? And I'm not getting personal, but you do not like chain restaurants, okay?
No.
You love to support local establishments.
I do.
I don't know. To get you to a chain restaurant we'd have to kidnap you.
Mm-hmm.
So this to me is the difference. Okay. To me, the NFL is your chain restaurant. I'm not going to do it. No, it's not going to do it. I'm going to support the local establishment here. Even if I have to spend more. Yes, I will do it. And Mark, besides, you said once I buy my second beer, I've already spent more than I would have with Peacock. So once I do that, I might as well buy the chicken strips and the wings and make it a pitcher. I mean, why stop?
Hell, you know what? While you're there, you might as well just do one of those pay it forwards and just, hey, table 4 over there. Let me get that check because I'm feeling generous.
Okay. You know what?
I'm going to buy mine. I want to buy his over there.
Once I spend 50, why not make it 100? You're right.
Exactly.
I can come home. Right. I can come home, look at my wife and go, well, hell, you give it away. Why can't I? I'm not paying the man.
Get set for the thrill of a lifetime with Mud Wheelers Gone Wild at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. 3 full days of mud, trails, camping, and more. All for ATVs and side-by-sides only. Friday night is movie night. Ride up and relax. Compete for cash, prizes, and more. With events like our new ATV and side-by-side bounty obstacle challenge, side-by-side and barrel races, and scavenger hunt. Don't miss this family-friendly ATV and side-by-side only event at Redneck Mud Park, January 19th through 21st. Visit redneckmudpark.com for discount tickets and details.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to shop with the best, and the mall is not the place to be. Here are my friends, Jason and Todd with the Diamond District.
Take a stroll in the mall, pop into a few jewelry stores, and you'll soon discover you're in the wrong place. Rings begin to look all alike. You're not finding GIA certified diamonds. You quickly realize you know more than a salesperson helping you, and all the same financing gets pushed on you.
Visit Jason and me, and you'll find America's top bridal designers dealing exclusively with the Diamond District. You'll find the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds, all priced 8 to 10% over cost. You'll find educated sales consultants who have many years' experience and are not paid commissions.
And you'll find Todd and me in the store nearly every day, wanting to shake your hand and welcome you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Mark Miller for Molly Maid. Why Molly Maid, you ask? Trust. Moulton was a customer for 15 years. Affordability. Didn't I just say Moulton was a customer for 15 years? Worry-free services. Our professional house cleaners are fully insured and a 24-hour warranty. Call Molly Maids today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. That's mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. Yeah, fam, I'm with you 100%. This whole tipping at the pizza joint, tipping at the fast food restaurant, they put tip jars up everywhere now. You go get your dry cleaning, they've got a tip thing next to it. It's like, no, I tip service employees who make $2.14 an hour. You're making minimum wage, you don't get tipped. There's a difference. Or I tip $1. But like one of my favorite places is Wally's Deli. They don't take cash anymore. They're losing their chance for a tip when I prepay on my credit card on my app, and then
I'm exactly like Mark. Occasionally I will throw $1 somewhere. And to me, I do it if I look like they're shorthanded and somebody's having to work extra hard. Or like if the pizza place, it's a summer and the oven, it's hot, I may throw $1 at the counter. But I've actually become a really big tipper. Mark made me a tipper. And on the road, I tip because I valet the car. I do. As things have happened, I valet it because it's a big problem if something happens to your rental car. Not with the rental car company, with the network. So I valet the cars, and every single time, $5, you get my car every time. I leave $20 for the maid. At $10 a day is what I do with the hotel room.
yeah, I'm not into tipping the maids. I've never really gotten that one.
I don't like to tip on a credit card. I mean, I go out of my way to tip in cash.
So DeBoer was supposed to be on the air with a Seattle radio station this morning. The radio station's already put out a Husker fans. We know you're looking to visit with Coach DeBoer this morning. Please understand that Coach and UW Athletics are continuing to work for a future. At this time, he will not be joining us.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's got my back. She said, buy a round for the bar. I got you. I love my mother. Mom, I'm 58. I really can't pay for myself, but I appreciate it. I have forgotten what cash looks like. It's been so long with 4 teenage daughters. Yeah.
So I've got a new next door neighbor, and I can tell I might have told you this, Dave. He was like, Trent, I walked out to take the dog out. He is in the driveway on his phone. He's in shorts and flip-flops. That's it.
No shirt.
No shirt. And I'm with a pullover I've got an extra layer on to walk the dog.
Huh.
I'll tell you what, when I go home, shorts is all I'm wearing. Hanging around the apartment. By the way, I don't know if you guys want to talk about this or not, but Kalen DeBoer apparently was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
My God. Oh my God. He just pulled a Felipe.
He was actually working over there though.
Oh, okay.
I was in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, he just walked. Yeah. Oh yeah, he just walked back. I actually just said that.
Okay, cool.
The best was Felipe would do it on the air.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. For the record, Mark, if you want to know where I get it from, and you never have to wonder because I got it from my mom. She texted me. She said, I got your back. You buy an extra round for the bar, I'll pay for it. I'm like, Mom, I'm 58. I can handle it, but okay, good to know. Besides, you just keep giving that money to the grandchild and the great-grandchild, okay, because I only have so much left. Your expenses are lower than mine these days. So,
yes, they are.
As my mother says, well, I only have my American Express bill. Otherwise, I'm doing just fine. Good for you, Mom. You've worked enough jobs. You deserve it. But so, yes, that's our poll question. You're going to pay the $5.99 for a peacock. My answer is no way in hell. Die, you dogs, die. It's my answer.
So KJR is a radio station in Seattle.
Oh, it's a biggie.
They have Coach DeBoer on, apparently on Friday mornings.
Okay.
He's not coming on this morning.
Uh-oh.
And they put out a long post on X saying that we know you were looking forward to a visit with Coach DeBoer this morning. Please understand that Coach and UW Athletics are continuing to work towards a future we can all be excited about. At this time, Coach will not be joining us this morning, but we will reschedule our interview soon.
Florida State fans should pay close attention to this because apparently in the on-deck circles, Mike Norvell. That's the word. They're going to go from DeBoer to Norvell.
And DeBoer, do you want to coach in Tuscaloosa or Ann Arbor is really the question you've got to ask yourself right now.
I like it when you're that snarky. I really do. Although, do you think Michigan's going to do like the Patriots just did? Go just turn it right and say, give Harbaugh his send-off, and there you go. That'll be nice. And the next day at breakfast, Sherrod Moore, here you go. It's your job.
I don't think so.
Really? Got to remember, they're going to lose a bunch of guys off this team. They got a brutal schedule, probably second hardest one in the country next year. Doesn't matter who they bring in next year. They're going 7-5, 8-4 at best. I mean, you've got an opportunity. Also, take whatever sanctions you might get next year. I mean, you're going to have a guy who's going to take it on the chin next year, no matter who it is, in my opinion. Does that change your thinking at all?
No.
Okay.
No, because I don't ever look at the Michigan job as a placeholder job, David. I'm not sitting there, well, you know what? Let's not hire the best guy we can hire because things might be bad next year. I don't think Michigan operates with that mentality.
So the whole, he filled in for Jim and went 6-0 and, his love for Michigan and he's a Michigan man and cried after the Penn State win. And
he did.
No, that's not going to do it for you, huh? Okay.
Joel Klatt had this take. He basically just said, let's not overcomplicate it. There's a coach on your staff who's 1-0 against Ohio State.
No, there's no doubt. And I'm sure he'll be considered, but I don't think he's going to get the job.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like you'd hire him.
No, it sounds like I think Michigan will hire him. I do. I think they'll hire him. And I think Harbaugh will want them to hire him. And I just think, how huge this championship is, I don't think it has no legs. Because also, if you promote from within, what do? You continue the Harbaugh era. You continue what you've built. You can always get a Kalen DeBoer. I mean, you can if you're Michigan. The question is, are you just going to end the Harbaugh era cold? Boom. And we're moving on. Or are we going to continue in the family? Bunch of Michigan men. That's all. I think because they won the championship, Mark, championships have legs.
They do. And it will be interesting to see if those legs are enough to remove the pee stains on the bottom of the legs on those chairs from the Connor Stallions, from having to fire the linebacker coach who broke the computer to get rid of the evidence. I mean, there is a negative side to what Harbaugh did there. He's going to bring sanctions against the University of Michigan. That's never happened, David.
I understand, but none of it's going to touch more, though. And the faithful aren't going to care because they got a title. So they'll be like, hit us with whatever sanctions you want. We're going 8-4 this year anyway. We don't care, except for the Ohio State game. That one we do. I mean, Mark, I don't even think Michigan fans are aware how bad their men's basketball team is. I don't think
they'll figure that out in the next couple of weeks.
Right. Middle of next week, it's going to be like, hey, is there a basketball game tonight? Yeah. Hey, how are we doing this year? Not well. What? Quick transition. Not going to spend a lot of time on this. Did anybody catch the UCLA score last night? They lost to Utah, 90-44. This is UCLA men's basketball. Just saying. 90-44. They didn't lose to the Utah Jazz, by the way. They lost to the Utah Utes.
Wow, and I thought Miami's loss to Louisville was bad.
90-44. They're 6-10. Whew. Anyway.
Cronin on the hot seat?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. One bad year at UCLA usually shows you the door in basketball.
And also, I mean, a couple years ago when they were projected after coming off their Final Four run, they really underachieved. I think they were preseason number 2.
Well, and not only that, Mick is such a warm personality. I mean, very lovable. Okay, a guy you really want to root for. He can coach, but whew. Anyway, but back to Mike Norvell with Kalen DeBoer. Supposedly, DeBoer is the leader in the clubhouse. Norvell is waiting in the on-deck circle. Tommy Rees is the man. We couldn't get anybody to take this job. We got to hire Tommy Rees. Nick, we're giving you that office, right? You're going to spend a lot more time here than you plan on? Yeah, don't worry. I'll be around. Yeah, you better be. I know that house is worth $17 million in Jupiter, but come on now. Falls and Tuscaloosa are beautiful. So if you're a Florida State fan, you got to pay attention to this.
It's already been a bad day for Florida State because they're the only team that cheated in NIL.
Apparently, right. They're the only ones. Right. No one else is doing pay for play. No one else is picking a kid up who's thinking of transferring there, driving him to the booster that's going to pay him, and then picking him back up and saying, "Did you have a good visit?"
Was the problem that he waited in the parking, waited in the driveway? I mean, was he actually in the booster's home? I mean, where is the problem here? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The NCAA is saying it was when they did it. They did it before they had. Basically, in November of 2022 is when the NCAA said, yeah, you guys can just take the money out of your front pocket and pay everybody. Don't worry about it. And this was done earlier in the year in 2022 when everybody was still doing it. But apparently, so they want to set an example, want to make it look like they're doing so. They're still in charge, Mark. Don't kid yourself. That's what they want everybody to know.
Well, they've got time. They got a month and a half before they have to get ready for their next event, David.
That's true.
Buy some hotel rooms for crying out loud.
They are the best event planners going. Miller, but so it's worth paying attention to, Florida State fan. Hey, I'm not kidding. If I'm Mike Norvell, I'm not taking the Alabama job. A, I'm not following Nick Saban, and B, quite frankly, I can't do that to Florida State right now. I can't. Timing. We all know what's going to happen with Florida State in the next few years. It's going to be tumultuous. If I'm Mike Norvell, I got to stay. I'm a young man. I got to stay. Once we get to wherever it is I can do whatever that I want. I can't leave Florida State now. Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to shop with the best. And the mall is not the place to be. Here are my friends, Jason and Todd with the Diamond District.
Take a stroll in the mall, pop into a few jewelry stores, and you'll soon discover you're in the wrong place. Rings begin to look all alike. You're not finding GIA certified diamonds. You quickly realize you know more than a salesperson helping you, and all the same financing gets pushed on you.
Visit Jason and me, and you'll find America's top bridal designers dealing exclusively with the Diamond District. You'll find the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds, all priced 8 to 10% over cost. You'll find educated sales consultants who have many years' experience and are not paid commissions.
And you'll find Todd and me in the store nearly every day, wanting to shake your hand and welcome you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Mark Miller for Molly Maid. Why Molly Maid, you ask? Trust. Moulton was a customer for 15 years. Affordability. Didn't I just say Moulton was a customer for 15 years? Worry-free services. Our professional house cleaners are fully insured and a 24-hour warranty. Call Molly Maids today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. That's mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Did you guys see that Laporta thinks he's playing?
I saw that he took reps yesterday.
Yeah. I think he's going to play. I mean, he'll be very limited. It might just be red.
All I know is that, David Chow on Twitter said there's no way he can play based on the injury. But
well, that's the thing, though. The injury wasn't. I mean, it was just a hyperextension. So it's just kind of like if he feels he can go, he's. Now maybe it's all smokescreen. They're just saying that stuff now so that the Rams have to.
I hope. I mean, it'd be great if he could.
Even just for a package.
Crap. Oh, crud.
My official prediction for Rams is 35-24. Lions, of course.
So did you see the Sony Open highlight yesterday when golfers lining up a greenside shot? And, they're in tight. They're shooting him from the waist to his head. But there's background, a hole behind him. And one of the patrons on the hole behind him, right in the back of his shot, walks up to the tree and starts urinating. And by the time they realize it and they go to the side angle shot, but nope, damage is already done. Right there on the course, you gotta go, you gotta go.
That's worse than Bourbon Street.
So they have really cracked down at our golf course of people peeing in the woods.
Yeah.
Because people can see it because So people get letters and in this guy playing with Jim Weir. He's whatever hole he's relieving himself. And one of the women from the other comes running towards him. Are you going to the bathroom? He looked her dead in the eyes. Went, no, there's spotted owls back here. I was checking to see if it was back
Oh
there.
my gosh.
With a straight face, she didn't know what to do.
I'm flying in.
And then he said, hold on, wait for the shake.
That's hilarious.
San Diego will not. My wife is not a huge Summer Olympics person, and the stuff that she wants to see is prime time on NBC. So,
well, come on. For the sake of the show, aren't we going to be talking for 4 hours about the Summer Olympics?
No.
God.
Of course, I'm joking.
I don't know. I don't know. You're a swimmer and diver, so that's it.
Oh, if there's if
now
American wins gold or something, that could be play of the day material.
Trent, definitely. Trent, you will learn that Mark, however, is a huge Winter Olympics goober.
Interesting.
Curling.
Will stop him in his tracks. And it's usually on when it's like in Europe and what have you. It'll be live during the show.
So I bought a shirt, a USA curling shirt that I used to wear. And people, Sweeper, 94 Lillehammer.
You're right. People would come up to him and he would say it was straight face. God,
that's so funny.
So good. Our former producer, Cassio, he used to try to pick up women. What do you do? And he said, I created, what was it, the weather app? What was the app that he created?
The weather, the maps, the Google Maps.
Google Maps.
I sold the Google Maps to Google. That was his line.
Right. What do you do? Well, I'm semi-retired. Really? Yeah, I came up with Google Maps.
Here we go.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour, 16 till we're out of here. Final segment of the week, Diamond District bonus hour. Keep Todd and Jason in mind. First off, they got a big event coming up next weekend, but the big days, about a month away. Just, if by chance you didn't go this route in around Christmas, you probably need to go this route for, Valentine's Day. Just saying.
And they've got all kinds. Doesn't matter what your budget is. If you don't have a big budget, they've got something for you. You want to buy large diamonds? They have more large diamonds than anyone in Florida. Period.
And just like how Mark Miller won Christmas, you can win Valentine's Day with the Diamond District.
Just make sure you tell him Miller and Moulton sent you.
Oh, look at that. He even teams up. He does spots and everything.
Yeah.
Man, this
He's
guy's
he's a pro's pro for a young guy.
He's got potential. He really does. All right. Do your thing, man.
It's time for someone to take back this segment, if for no other reason than to stop David from talking about Meghan and Harry. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
1906 is when we start. The football committee, and David, I spent time trying to figure out who the hell the football committee was, but the football committee today in 1906 legalizes the forward pass.
Is that, Condi Rice, Barry Alvarez? Who was on that committee?
It may have been. 1918, Joe Malone scores 5 goals to become the first NHL player to score 20 in a season. He would end the season with 44. That's kind of Ruth-esque, isn't it?
Right, because wasn't home runs like 14 and Ruth, took it to like 29 and then like 59.
1946, the Cleveland Rams are given permission to move to Los Angeles. 1958, the NCAA adds the 2-point conversion. Today in 1959, Berry Gordy opens Tamla Records. It would become Motown. 1966, Batman with Adam West debuts. Two very significant events today in 1969. I don't know which one's bigger. The Jets beat the Colts in Super Bowl III, and Led Zeppelin's first album was released.
Well, for that day, it was the Jets.
And probably for all time, but it's close.
But the second one was pretty damn big.
But bigger was what happened today in 1971. Because All in the Family premieres on CBS. And for the first time ever on television, we heard a toilet flush. Of all the ground that show broke, it started by a flushing toilet, David.
Well, first that was a big deal. And then the first on I Love Lucy.
They pushed the beds together, right?
They put the beds together, and then she said, yeah, I'm pregnant. I'm still going to do the show. She was the first pregnant TV character.
Steve Miller's The Joker was number 1 today in 1974. Super Bowl IX was in 1975. Pittsburgh beating Minnesota 16-6. Franco Harris, your MVP. Dynasty premiered today in 81.
It's a biggie. Blake Carrington, baby.
This show was a monster.
John Forsythe, Linda Evans, and then that hussy Joan Collins.
The highest scoring NCAA basketball game took place today in 1992. Troy State beat DeVry. The final score, 258-149.
Damn.
And who said college hoops isn't a good product?
Over under 407.
Mario Lemieux announced he had Hodgkin's lymphoma today in 1993. OJ's murder trial began today in 1995. And the Ravens would come back to beat Denver, scoring late and then winning in overtime. They called it the Mile High Miracle in 2013.
Yeah, that was Peyton's first year with the Broncos. They were the best team in the league. Baltimore had no business winning that game. But they did on their way to winning the Super Bowl.
Tim Horton, Joe Frazier, Tom Dempsey, Christy Alley, and Rush Limbaugh, all born today. Bill Madlock and Drew Pearson are each 73. Howard Stern is 70. Dominique Wilkins is 64. Jeff Bezos is 60. Rob Zombie, 59. Zach De La Rocha is 54 from Rage Against the Machine. And Dontrell Willis is 42.
D-Train.
Do you remember Bill Madlock's nickname?
I do not.
Mad Dog.
Makes sense.
Madlock, Mad Dog. He won at least one batting title. I remember that.
One. But actually, Matlock, Drew Pearson, Christy Alley, and Rush Limbaugh all born on the same day. What'd I miss?
No, you got everything. I think we sure Madlock only won the one.
That's what I had. I could be wrong.
I'll look it up. But yeah, I got nothing.
Folks elsewhere mock Florida is gonna Florida. Well, Mark Miller sees it differently. He calls it the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
For the good today, we go to Starbucks, where they're announcing a bring your own cup policy. People who bring their own cups are going to receive wait for it, David, a 10-cent discount on their drinks.
Come on. I mean, when they're sitting doing these promotions, does somebody have the courage to go, you really think they're going to do this for 10 cents a dime?
No, but I think the Starbucks coffee person would love to bring their own cup in to save the environment.
I wish that David was in that meeting.
No, seriously. Dime. I'd come in with a roll of dimes. I'd pass them all out. Here, you guys want a dime? I'll give you a dime. This is stupid. How about a buck?
Fair enough.
You do know it's coffee, right? The cost is 12 cents. You know what we're charging for a venti? $6.34. I digress.
For the bad, we go to Fort Myers, where one person was arrested after a downtown historic building became engulfed in flames Thursday night. Someone decided it would be fun to light a fire on a historic building. Fortunately, police arrested the man, and he has been apprehended. And finally, the ugly. We go to London, where Drew Marshall claimed he was the senior footman at Windsor Castle, and that the walking stick he was selling was used by late Queen Elizabeth II. Turns out it was all a hoax. He didn't work there. It wasn't her walking stick, and he's been busted for trying to sell the antler walking stick, saying the proceeds would go to cancer research. Anything for a buck. And that's the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, January the 12th, 2024.
By the way, we're finding out apparently it was written into Gerard Mayo's contract. Like he was going to leave a couple years ago and they talked him into staying. Well, I guess the way they talked him into staying was it was written into his contract that he would replace Belichick. Now, there's usually an out, though, but it's a financial one. It's like in case we want to not live up to that paragraph, here's $5 million, But anyway, apparently it was in his contract. Only a couple of NHL games tonight, Nashville, Dallas, the Flyers, and the Wild. For those who want us to talk more hockey, earlier in the show, we did comment on 6 overtime games last night in the NHL. 6!
The play of the day is hockey, like every day.
So we're paying attention. We really are. A lot of hoops tonight, Mark. A lot of hoops. Orlando and Miami, you know that rivalry, that Florida Turnpike rivalry. Isn't it a shame that they've never really both been very good at the same time?
Nope. It is a shame. I mean, because the Heat think of their rival as who? The Knicks?
Definitely. And Celtics and others, but not Orlando. Because think about it, Orlando got good early. The Heat weren't. Then when Shaq left and then Penny, then Riley comes over like the year before Shaq leaves. And then the Heat go to the conference finals. And then the Heat obviously get really good. And the Magic had all those injuries, couldn't get over the hump. Then the Heat go to the finals and win it. And then the Magic go 3 years later to the finals. And the Heat were kind of on their way down. Shaq had gotten old. They'd already moved on from him. And they were in transition. And then, of course, we all know the last 12 years with the Magic and the last 12 years with the Heat. That's kind of like, the Lightning and the Panthers, who've only, met in the playoffs the 2 times? And we thought it would be this great rivalry. And up until the Panthers now, and are the Panthers now going to be amongst the NHL elite right as the Lightning are settling down to not being elite? So anyway, the ESPN double dip, Sacramento at the Sixers at 7:30. And then Pelicans Nuggets. If you're into hoops, that's interesting. Zion and, that Jokic guy.
A little bit of college basketball tonight. FGCU on the road taking on Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State a 7.5-point favorite.
Kennesaw State whacked Stetson. And Stetson's better than FGCU. And they whacked Stetson the other night.
And FGCU's coming off a loss to Queens earlier in the week.
I mean, I got to admit, if you're going to play this game, I think you got to lay the points.
I agree. Would you lay the 4.5? Iowa and Nebraska. Nebraska coming off the big win. They travel to Iowa tonight. Iowa's a 4.5-point favorite.
Oh, yeah. Mark, I don't know if I could take a team on the road in major college basketball. I really don't anymore. It's unreal what's going on so far this year. Home teams are kicking the tar out of road teams. In fact, didn't that already happen this year? Nebraska had an upset earlier in the year and didn't do that well afterwards. Northwestern, I know, the game after they beat Purdue, didn't they lose to like Chicago State?
Yes. So I'm with you. I love Iowa tonight at home. Laying the 4.5.
I will say, all right, and this is your real degenerate. If you want to get a reaction out of somebody, say you're taking Stetson tonight and laying 1.5 at Queens. If that doesn't get you a raised eyebrow, and then get somebody else around you to go, what do you know? Nothing. I just follow the A-Sun. What? So
we should start betting every A-Sun game.
Oh, River City Rumble tonight in Jacksonville. Mark, don't laugh. They'll actually put 6,000 people at North Florida.
The River City Rumble?
River City Rumble, Jacksonville, North Florida. They sell this game out at both places. And then
throw the records out when it's a River City Rumble.
Well, North Florida right now is a little better than JU. North Florida is a 5.5-point favorite. They swept JU last year. I don't know.
JU's not very good.
Well, they're not, but they've had a full week of practice, made some adjustments. I know I just said I wouldn't take the road teams in college basketball, but Mark, River City Rumble, you throw it all out. Anything can happen. That's right. We're talking betting A-Sun basketball here, ladies and gentlemen. I can assure you there's not another show in the country that just went down the road we went down.
Not a chance. We're both taking Cleveland. I'm taking the Dolphins. David's taking the Chiefs. We are both taking the Bills and the Cowboys and the Rams.
Trent, have a great time.
Absolutely.
I will.
Take some pictures, savor it all in, because even if the Lions get consistently good, they'll never have a moment like this.
That's right. This is the first one. 21 years of this building. This is the first one. I've had a couple people text me and say, have fun, don't get arrested.
I would concur with that sentiment. Don't get arrested. It's tough. Of all of the cities to get arrested in before the game, I would put Detroit up there high. It's tough to get arrested in Motown.
You got to do something pretty bad.
You really got to do something stupid, and that doesn't look like that's your MO.
Hope not.
How early will you get to downtown Detroit to go someplace, start eating and drinking before the game?
The plan is noon.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
One pride worldwide. Let's go Lions.
It's an 8:15 kick for those wondering.
We got football to watch during the day, baby.
You got your setup already planned?
Oh, yeah. We got the whole itinerary.
Have a great weekend, Trent. Enjoy the hell out of it. Everybody else, you do the same. Enjoy Super Wildcard Weekend. We'll be back Monday morning, 6 a.m.
It's super.
Law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims,